Good evening again, and welcome everyone to my hangout, to Astro Printers Hangout. My name is Liam. For those of you who do not know me, this is a casual hangout where we hang out, talk with other makers. Everybody's welcome to come in and join the conversation. You should find the link, the StreamYard link, if you want to join the conversation in the YouTube chat. If you do want to come in and join the conversation, please mute your YouTube, then click on the link to come in and join us, because if you don't, we get audio feedback and everything will get messed up. But it's open to everyone. We talk about pretty much everything and anything. Okay, so it's pretty open, but we do try to keep it clean. So we do already have some people in the background ready to hang out with us. So I'd like to welcome them in. Let's bring them in. First of all, hey Jerry, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Good,
hey,
good,
man.
Good. Keeping alive. Hey Matt.
Hey Matt.
Hey, how are you?
Matt's frozen. Here he goes.
Yeah, he froze for a second. So how's everyone doing?
I can hear Liam.
I can hear you. Can you hear Jerry?
Can you hear me?
No. I can hear you, Jerry, but I can't hear Astro Printer.
Yeah, Astro Printer's talking, and you keep glitching, Matt. So just start talking, Matt. He can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. So that's interesting that he can't hear me, but you can hear me fine, Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know.
Let's see who's hanging out there, and we say hi to everybody, and then we'll come back and chat. So, hey Gary, how are you? Hey, Maker Viking. Let's see. Mylan, how are you, sir? You can't see up tonight. Okay, that's fine. Thanks for popping in and saying hi, though. Hey, Carl, you're up late in the UK. There's Matt's better half.
Hey, Loopy.
Hey, Loopy, how are you? Okay.
Hey, Carl.
Non-fam, how are you?
Non-fam, Chris Travis. Hello. Old curmudgeon.
Hey, Dominic. We had Carl saying hi to everybody. Mylan saying hi.
I hope everybody's okay. What you been up to, Jerry?
Let's see. I just mopped the bathroom floor. I got my print done earlier. I done a video. I watched a movie on Netflix or
hey,
somewhere.
Justin.
Cool.
So.
Oh, hey, Trevor, how are you?
What's up, Navari?
You can come in and join us.
Trevor,
join us.
I mentioned Trevor in my latest video. If you watched it, Trevor, I mentioned you in it.
Everyone saying hi.
Mention me?
No.
What would
Trevor.
You for?
All right. Oh, yeah.
when I do a lithophane, I'll mention you, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay,
I thought you will make a lithophane soon.
Well, Curmudgeon said he can hear everybody. Apparently, it's just Matt can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Gosh, he keeps talking, but I can't hear him at all.
Yeah, he just said, can you hear me now? Like the Verizon guy. But I think he went to Sprint.
I'm actually on Verizon, so it's okay. Wide awake tonight, Carl. Okay. So I don't know what's going on with you, Matt, but everybody else can hear me.
Maybe something wrong. I hope that's no dead air or anything.
How about you disconnect and can reconnect again? Tell him, Jerry, so he can hear you.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to hear you. Disconnect, Matt, and reconnect. Go in, go check your settings. Log out, log back in.
All right.
Yeah, everybody can hear everybody, but Matt can't hear nobody.
It's a glitch in his side then, for sure.
Yeah.
Verizon is great and sucks at the same time. Well,
yeah, that R2D2 dome, I started it last Thursday night, I think it was. And yes, I used a 0.4 brass nozzle. And yes, it took until this morning to get done. But I got it done. It was less than 2 rolls of filament.
Nice. Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Okay,
I can hear you now.
Glitch on your side. Okay. All right. Good.
The name of the stream should be, can you hear me now?
I can do that. Verizon, we're looking for a job. Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah, years ago for Dell computers, they had that surfer dude. If most of you guys remember way back when he's like, "Hey, dude, you should have got a Dell." Yeah. I was at the post office years ago, and somebody was picking up a computer, and it was something else. And I said the same thing, and everybody in the room just started busting up. At the time, it was a proper commercial. So,
actually, I used to work for Dell.
Yeah,
long time ago. Yeah, I used to work for Dell in Ireland for years. I was with them. I was with them for 10 years. But,
Yeah, I have a funny comeback on who used to work for who, but I can't say it on your stream. I can't use the word.
Oh, okay.
So,
We
but it
will,
was
you
funny.
can tell us offline later on.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it?
Well, actually, I can say it without saying it. Okay, here goes, and I won't have to say the word. People's minds can wander. When I worked for the Venetian in construction years ago, we're building a Venetian hotel, and there was this one company on the job site that had a certain name. And anyway, I can't say what the name was, but this when I was unemployed one time, I was at the Laborers Union Hall, and I walked in, and this guy, great big old guy, had a T-shirt on that had that logo on the shirt of that company name. And I go, "Hey, you used to work for such and such?" He goes, "Yeah, I did." I said, "Well, I used to work for a paycheck." And as I said, I backed up so he wouldn't hit me. But I'm not going to explain what was on the shirt, but it was pretty funny.
Okay.
And then once he realized what I was talking about, he had a good laugh on it.
Cool. I'm actually printing the drive gear right now for the second wheel, the second chain.
Oh, cool.
I haven't ordered my electronics and stuff yet because I went looking for the couplers, and I couldn't find anywhere that had the 4 millimeter couplers. They had the 6 mils, they didn't have the 4s. So they only had one of the couplers, and I need a pair of them. So I have to
think of what you want for the batteries.
The two metal couplers, the round metal couplers that go. I think they go onto the back of the small chamfer drive gear that drives the wheels.
Oh yeah. Those are on Amazon. I can send you a link.
Yeah. No, I went looking for them, and they said one left, and I needed two.
Huh. Okay,
Yeah. So I'm waiting. Hopefully, it'll come in the next few days. But if you see somewhere that they have them, let me know because I want to go order my parts.
I'll check my link right now.
Let's see. Okay, that's mine. I'm saying hi to everybody. Non-fan saying hi. Carl saying hi to Victor.
It looks like I bought a 4-pack a couple days ago.
Oh, well, I went look for them. So send them to me. And are they for the bigger motor or the small one?
Small.
Okay, I went with a slightly larger motor set. Remember, he modified it to do the larger motor.
No, I don't know. I'm using the Pulaski motors for the Brute Droid.
Yeah, but he modified. He did a mod on
Recently
the drive.
He did it
with a bigger, and it uses a bigger motor.
Yeah. Last month he did that.
Okay, well, here's the ones in private chat that I'm using right now for the Pulaku or whatever you call it motors. A company in Vegas sells droid parts.
What is it? The 37D, is it?
The motors?
Yeah.
Let me find that link for you. Hey, here's the link for the motors. Here's the motors that I'm currently using in 2 droid. Right there.
Let me see which ones they are. Yeah, they're the 25. He updated that with a bigger motor to the 37Ds, which are faster. They have a higher gear ratio.
Okay.
So they're the ones if you see the one in the Speedster that he did with the pit droid, that moved.
Yeah, the one that attacked Jason.
Yeah. So he did with the bigger motor. So I think, I don't know the size of the shaft. I have to double check. I think I might have to change those from what they are now because the shaft goes into that, right?
Yeah.
So I think I might have to change that from a 4 mil to a 6 mil because I think it's
a little flange has 4 screws that go into the plastic gear that slides on the shaft, and there's 2 little tiny set screws that screw up tight against it.
Yeah. So I think it's a 6 mil shaft on the new motors. Let me just quickly check.
And I decided I'm going to sell all my small printers within the next couple weeks.
All of them?
Because I'm behind on a lot of bills and different things that I'm going to have problems with. And I don't use them, so I'm going to be selling my Tivo Tarantula Pro, my Ender 3 V2. I've got 2 or 3 Ender 3 Pros, and I've got an Ender 3 with a 500 millimeter kit on it, straight up. So I got 1, 2, 3. I got 6 printers I'm going to be selling in June before the end of the month so I can get caught up on some bills. Otherwise, I'm going to go upside down by the end of the month, and I can't do that.
Yeah. Oh.
And I don't use them, so why not get rid of them? I'll keep my 2 original CR10s, my CR10 Max, and my Hypercube. But the little ones, I'm not using them, so there's no reason to keep them. And I don't want to get rid of my original CR10s. They work great.
Well,
sad to hear.
So we should offer them up on you should share them out in the groups and
yeah, I will. I'm going to go through each one and do a block or a cube to make sure they're working properly before I list them. Because I haven't used them in a long time. They're just sitting, they're collecting dust. No reason to keep them.
Chances are they're fine if they haven't been used in a while. They just need to be a bit of a dusting, and that's it.
Yeah, I just got to check them out, make sure.
Local pickup would be easier for you because you can have someone in your area. You should put them on Craigslist in your area as well.
Yeah, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and then online. And I'm sure somebody will want them. Yeah,
because I got rid of a printer recently, and it was gone the next day. I put it on Craigslist, and it was gone the following day. It's a small printer I don't use anymore. But yeah, so my drive gears are doing okay. Let me show it to you, actually. Give me a second. I'll bring you what I've done so far. Well, some of it.
Yeah, I've just been cleaning up. My print just finished half an hour ago, so I've been cleaning it. I'm doing it for an author, a book. Oh, that's really nice. That looks good.
A couple inserts broke out of it. One right here, which I'm not sure if I needed it. I'm not sure. There was no supports required on this, but I think Mr. Bedelli had a couple places where he had some temporary breakout supports put in just because of the travel distance, and I think those are what I bumped out. But I had it printed almost perfect. I had a few like wisps or whatever on the side of these straight edges, like little tiny dots of circles from under cooling, I guess. But when I took a razor knife, it very easily just cut them right off. So it cleaned up real good. I had a very minor stringing, and I just took my torch to it like I normally do. And I put out a video on it earlier, I think I put the weight in the video what it weighed, but it was under 2 rolls. It was a little over a roll and a half of filament. I sliced with simplified 3D. Let's see, my layers were either 666 or 644, 6 top, 4 bottom, 4 perimeter with like 25% infill, but it had enough infill that it printed solid. So when I was looking at it while I was printing, it was completely solid. So anyway, but that's the actual size of an R2D2 dome that was printed on the CR10 Max. So.
No one's breaking anything tonight.
I could throw this up in there and let it hit the floor, and I could cry.
Yeah, after a week of printing, I wouldn't blame you. So here's what I've. Let me just go full. So these are the PETG parts.
Nice, looks really clean.
They're not. I haven't put anything into them, but
yeah, on a couple of my parts like that for the drive, I had under extrusion on one of my printers, so it's kind of like accordion strings. You can run your fingers across the bottom layer, and it's like little individual strings where it ain't bonded properly. So I
you can sand that out, though.
Yeah, I cut them all off until I got it down to a smooth area, and it's still fine.
So there's no bearings in this yet, but everything moves.
You have the link for the bearings, or I can send it to you.
I have he sent me the link to all the parts. Because he
has it in the description, so there's something you can't find, let me know, and I'll send you a link for it.
Okay.
But I sent you like 4 links before, but there's probably like,
I still have them. Yeah. But the parts came out really nice. Like, there's modified this part for the new bearing.
Mm-hmm.
For the new bigger stepper, new bigger motors.
Yeah, because I don't recognize that part you're holding.
Yeah, and like he's put more space in here for the larger motors.
Okay.
But printer coming out good. I haven't even started printing the robot part of it yet, but I'll get to it. But I'll order the electronics and stuff.
Do you have a Pi hooked up on that printer printing? You have a Pi hooked up on the printer where you can share a screen and show us how it's coming right now?
I don't have a Pi in that printer, no.
Okay.
It's just started a new layer. I mean, layer 1 is starting on the next print, which is going to be another set of these. Just for the other side.
I was printing a gift box for my wife the other day on her FL Sun, her Q5, which is her printer, she says. And the first layer, I couldn't get the first layer down, so I re-leveled the bed, and the first layer kept coming up on me. So I went ahead and I used, what do you call it? Nanopolymer adhesive, and it still wasn't working. So I went old school. I went and got glue stick, and I put it down on the FL Sun, and boom, it printed fine.
Glue stick is great.
I was just having trouble getting that first layer in the FL Sun right. I was too high. And then I got the first layer down good, and right in the middle, I started dragging it where it was too close. It's like, oh, God. So I let it go, and it turned out fine.
Yeah. No, like I do all of these with glue stick on the smooth glass. And when I'm done with the part, when I pop it off, just to make sure there's nothing left behind, I rinse it underwater and rub it down to wash off the glue. And then it's finished.
Yep.
That's what I do, and I get, well, you can see, I get good quality parts out of it. You know,
looks good.
So, yeah. Well, I got my PETG pretty much dialed in anyway. So, I don't think I haven't had a bad print in PETG in quite a while. Mm-hmm. Once the first layer goes down, the nice thing about PETG is once you get the first layer down, and it looks okay, it looks good. Every other layer, because PETG likes to stick to itself, every other layer will just stick no matter what.
Yeah,
because it just likes to stick to itself. Let's see, tanks will come in. Okay, I'm headed over there. Okay.
Did I show you my elephant lamp?
No. Oh, you did. You did last week.
Last week, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was on Jerry's stream or not, but...
oh, show us that. Let me bring you up to full screen.
Hold on a second. Let me first plug it in.
So besides your R2D2 head... Oh, let me have a look at this first. Yeah, kill that light. Oh, I haven't seen this one. No, I saw the round one.
Looks good.
You colored it. That's nice. The last one you didn't color.
This one is just nice, the picture. I love this picture.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah, I did my Mad Max. I got that painted the other day, and I got that video done.
Yeah, that looks good.
And then I figured, one of these days I want to do an R2D2, just like I want to do a Ghostbuster car. So why not print the dome and get it done?
So the dome will sit on the shelf for the next 6 months before you get onto the next piece.
It's hard to say, depending on film, and I might just print parts to be printing them. But there's so many different variations on the R2D2 that you can do. I have to figure out what I want to do and not do, and then get it all printed out. And then it's going to be really expensive to build that. I don't have the money for the electronics, so.
Yeah, the R2D2 you expect to spend 2 years or a year or so working on it.
It might be $1,000 or more in electronics and filament and stuff. So.
Doing great, Thomas.
Hey, Maker Viking.
Yeah. It takes time. Don't expect to rush that because the amount of sanding and filling and treating you have to do for each section.
I don't rush anything anymore.
Saturday,
I've got my sister and her husband coming up Saturday. He's going to help me take the 70-inch TV out of the living room. I mean, I can pick it up, but it's hard to manhandle with one person. Put it on my kitchen table, face down on a blanket. I'm going to take the back off it, have him help me flip it over. Then I'll take off the bezel and everything, and then we're going to take off the screen carefully and all the layers that go with it, set it up on a towel against the wall, wear gloves, not to get fingerprints on it, then I have to flip it over, pop out all the white buttons, flip it back over, take out the white sheets, take off the LEDs, put new ones on it, and then put it all back together. Because my TV's going black on me.
That sounds like an awful lot of work.
Yeah, I hope to have it done in 2 hours. I hate asking for help by anybody because I've always done everything myself, but I can't manhandle a 70-inch TV. It'd be too easy for me to break the screen or something could happen.
Yeah, it could slip, and it's not the weight; it's the physical size. It's clumsy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just awkward.
Yeah,
clunky.
It's like a sheet of plywood, 3/4 plywood, which is fairly heavy. It's easier for me to carry it by myself and have somebody help me carry it because I can just put it on my shoulder.
One hand under, one hand over, and you carry it.
Exactly, and it's very easy. Two people trying to carry it, you fight it, it's heavier than hell.
It depends what you're doing. Like sometimes it can be easier with two people, like in like if you're going up the stairs or whatever. But if you're just carrying it in the flat, it's just easy to flip an arm over backwards and then balance it on top. Yeah, I work construction, so I know I've done that. Okay. Yeah, my dad was in construction, so
I used to stock drywall years ago, and man, that sucks.
I when I was younger, as in much younger, I worked as a laborer for plasterers. They skim the whole wall with gypsum. Now you don't make gypsum in a big mixer. You do it in a bucket, And
So
you do it again, you
wheelbarrow
wash it all out, and you do it in, and then you're running all the time.
Yeah. Carrying buckets or wheeling mud, whatever. Yeah.
But you have to mix the mud as well because gypsum goes hard and cures so fast. So you mix a bucket, bring it in, dump it, wash the bucket out, start again from scratch, and you're constantly going because they go through it so fast.
My sister wants me to put porcelain wood planks in her house, in her kitchen, and the room next to it's like a dining room area. It's like a living room, sort of. And she has 2 layers of sticky squares down now. I'm like, Janie, just do what I bought. They look like they're real wood. They're sticky squares. Just clean the floor really good. They're easy to put down and lay. And you can pay different amounts of money. But she wants me to strip it down to bare concrete. And it's just so much work, mixing up mud and setting them by hand and grouting and,
Yeah. Like the guys I used to labor for, like when I was younger, it was summer work. They do a large room, 2 of them, with skim, 2 coats, a whole, 2 layers, right? A big large living room in less than a day.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing finished, shiny, smooth surface done, and they'd be starting room 2.
Yeah,
these guys were fast, and it's backbreaking keeping up with those guys. I mean, like most of the people here skim the joints. They put up drywall and they skim the joints. Yeah, we don't. We skim the whole wall pretty much 99% of the time.
In Vegas, they texture everything. You have your guys come in and tape tape off all the joints, sand it with multiple layers, and they come in and they spray it and texture it.
Oh,
and then you roll the texture, but the texture will hide any imperfections, any minor imperfections, not major imperfections. Yeah. You still got to do a good tape job and sand job, otherwise the texture won't hide it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Or you take. Yeah. But when you plaster, the whole wall has to look smooth from one end to the other. You have to sand.
Yeah.
You're not relying on the drywall to do anything for you, or a lot of times you're doing drywall.
Okay, Chris, we'll wait on you.
Sorry,
Chris Travis will be right back, so we better wait.
Okay. Look, everything's on hold. Nobody talk.
Yeah, tip it.
Not.
Yeah. Okay. No comments. Yeah, while you guys are here, please like, subscribe, and share this live stream out. Liam would really appreciate it. It'll help his channel grow. And he's got almost 4,000 watch hours, but he doesn't have enough subs. So please sub. Please let other people know. Please sub to him. You never know who might be on here. Look, I'm here. Matt's here. You never know who might pop in a minute. Maybe somebody in chat will surprise us, and they'll click on that link that he probably hasn't shared out yet, and then you can pop in and talk too.
Okay. If you want to come in and talk, the link is in chat. I believe I pinned it, but if I didn't, I can go in and do that. I didn't actually. Let me pin this. Okay, it's pinned at the top of the chat right now. So please, the link is there. Go like, subscribe. If you want to come in and chat, mute your YouTube, click on that link, the StreamYard link, and come in and join the conversation. Everybody's welcome. I can have 6 people in here with me, so everybody's open to come in and chat and ask questions and share ideas about what you're doing. Okay, that's what it's all about. It's not always the same 3 amigos like here. So everybody's welcome. Or is it 3 Stooges? Which is
I'll be here for a little bit. I'll hang out for a little bit, and I have other stuff I need to tinker with and get done. I'll be here for a little bit.
Okay, cool. So everybody's welcome. But so the droid is going to be what's going to be using a lot of my time now. I'm finally getting around to getting one done, and but I'm doing the drink droid, as you know. What is the R2 B
BR-TU brew to you?
Okay, BR okay. I just call it R2 Beer 2 is what I nickname it myself. But it'll be a nice little print, and then after that though, I'm going to start. I can't do the full dome. I don't have a print bed big enough, so I'm going to have to slice up the.
My button's working.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to slice up. I'm either going to do the R2 or I'm going to do the one with the tracks. Like the R2 Unibot has got a track on it, like we're doing with the drink droid right now. But it's a much larger scale, obviously. So I'll do one or the other, but I'm going to do one.
Yeah, Chris Kilcrease from Kill Creations. He has a YouTube channel. He's hung out before, and I interviewed him a long time ago. He's all over Facebook. He's currently doing R2D2 also. He has a picture on Mr. Badelli's Bagley's group. He printed it in sections and bolted it together, and then he's sanding and filling the cracks and working on that right now.
Someone's done a great drink droid adaptation with Matt's big can.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
One of the Brew R2s has a can instead of little robots, a beer can.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. And you could put a light inside it so he'll be lit up as a lithophane.
Oh, last week on my live stream, I got dinged when I shared that zombie movie. I shared the trailer. Remember, I muted it. It didn't matter. I forgot. I showed over 10 seconds of video. So YouTube nailed me on it. So I had to edit it out. I haven't rewatched it, but they had to edit out that. Otherwise, I was getting in trouble with Netflix.
Oh, that sucks. I have an Ender 5 Plus, but it's my go-to.
What's your build volume?
The Ender 5 Plus is a 350 by 350 by 400.
Okay,
I need to go to 470.
You need at least 470.
Yeah,
I have about an extra quarter of an inch all the way around on my.
Actually, Victor, you should talk with
Trevor with Navari.
Trevor at Navar, yeah. He actually gets Amazon returns, and he might have a 5 Plus.
Yeah, he's probably watching right now.
He is there.
He was a bit ago.
Yeah. You can also find him. What's his YouTube? What's his Facebook group called?
USA Corrality Exchange Group, I think it is.
I think it's something. I think that's it.
On Facebook, let me look.
Yeah, Trevor, if you're out there, post your link if you want to your Facebook or even to your store site, so we can actually get it out. We can let other people know so they can reach out to you, because they're looking for an Ender 5 Plus. So you may have them in stock. I don't know, but you often have a lot of machines like that. Yeah, but you'll get a good. He'll do a good. You got his info. Okay, well, reach out to him. He might come in and join us in a while. I'm not sure, but reach out to him. He might be able to.
It's USA Corrality Exchange Group is the name of it on Facebook, and Trevor runs that. And in Navari, Florida, he has a physical store in a mall.
Yeah. So ping him out there. He might have something what you're looking for, Victor.
Here it is in private chat if you want to post it for Facebook.
Sure, yeah. Put it in the chat there. I'll stick it out for everybody.
There you go.
So this is Trevor's.
The cheapest way you'll ever buy a printer is from an individual, but Trevor gets returns, and of course, because he's a business, he has to have a markup, but it would still be cheaper than new.
Yeah, and he'll ship within the States. So
yeah, and he guarantees everything that he sells, depending on what it is, I guess.
So that's good. Checking it out. Actually, he often has some good stock there, and he does get a fair amount of returns. They vary.
I'm not going to ship any of my printers anywhere because it costs too damn much.
It's gotten expensive.
Yeah,
I know
everything's expensive now. Like
here too now, here in England. I mean, we're having now shortages of building material and all.
We're the same. Well, see, what's happening is what's happened here in the States, anyway, especially, is people are at home, and since they're working out of home, they have a bit more time to themselves, and because of that, they're actually doing home projects. That's what they're saying is what's happening. So
somebody posted a picture on Facebook. They bought a hamburger for $6.95. Their bill was $200. The guy's like, "What the hell? Why is it $200?" Oh, you had 4 toothpicks on it.
That wouldn't surprise me. I have 8 lengths of 4x2 in my garage. I'm a rich man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we don't know how much of it is really because there's a shortage or really because they want to drive the price up. You never really know on anything.
Yeah.
What's really true and what isn't.
Yeah, well, it is, but it has got very expensive. Like
it'll go back down.
We will eventually, but I've been like, I was going to build my own shelving for my printers. I decided just to go buy metal shelving instead because it's cheaper than buying the wood to build my shelving.
Everything, including vehicles, let's say they're this price, then they go up to here. Well, when they come back down, they're right here. And then eventually they go back up to here, and then they come back down, they're right here. So they're never really where they were, but they're better than what they are.
Well, but building materials often do drop all the way back down to where they were, or close enough to,
once the market gets saturated again, then
once the demand goes down, because people are starting to go back to the office now. So if that's the reason, there's going to be less people doing stuff at home like they were, and that means the supply will rebuild.
Yeah, when I was in construction for 25 years, I was a laborer and I was done a lot of demo work on different jobs, different businesses, and I've got so much cool stuff that was headed to the dumpster. My brother was building a big house in Frump, and this one company we demoed out all the French doors. There were like 10 sets of French doors.
Oh, nice.
That were headed to the dumpster. I called up my brother, hey, get down here now, and he did, and he got all of them. So they're all going to the dumpster. But sometimes you can do that, sometimes you can't. Depends on where you're at and the employer. But yeah. Crazy
lumber. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've been quite a bit busy too myself. I've been working for the Changes charity here in the UK.
Okay.
They're making a book fair next year, so I was already invited to set up a stall there next year, and I'm gonna sell some of my lithophanes. This is why I make those apples right now. And hold on a second.
While you're doing that, let me go check my print. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah. So that's one of my apples, what I'm doing for them.
Oh, looks nice. Yeah, I recognize the picture.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a balloon apple, but I have already several of them sold.
Cool.
And yeah. And also for one of the authors, I'm making a lamp.
Too bright. Well, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Yeah, it's all right. It's a book, and she wanted a writing on it. So this disappointing woman was going to be engraved on his headstone. So I think she will like it.
Cool. Yeah, so as I said, I'm going to just buy metal shelves for mine now. I'm just going to buy and be done with it. I can't get shelves deep enough, and that's okay. 24-inch deep is okay. Some of my printers are a bit long, but they'll overhang the edges, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to get the metal shelves probably maybe next week or a week after. I'll go buy them, and then put most of my printers out there on those shelves. Probably going to put about 12 or 14 of them on the shelves out there, and then I'm going to build a stand-in for my K40 to put it to reorientate it and put it so I have, because I have for my K40, I have a wood panel with the vent drilled into the wood panel with a hole in it. So I open the window, put the wood panel in the window, and then close the window on top of it. Then it vents everything outside.
Okay.
That's the way I have it set up. I don't have an outside vent like you do. So I just use through a window, and that works great. So I'm just going to change. I'm going to reorientate it so I can get access to it easier. Because right now I've only access to the front. Getting access to the back is a bit tricky. So I'm going to build a table for it, basically, for my K40, and orientate it so I can get in. So it's easy to get at the window and stuff as well.
You live in a nice house, an old house, wood house? What kind
It's a nice house, but see, all my stuff's in the basement, so it's concrete all around me.
Oh, okay.
So
well, you know where I was going with this conversation then, all right.
I had a good idea, yeah, about putting out...
You live in a glass house?
I don't live in a glass house. But I have lots of windows, but I don't live in a glass house, no.
Yeah.
No.
What did he say? You should look at the shelf thing, Sam. Yeah, I'm looking at something similar to that, is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, you print out all the brackets and slam it together
Well,
or something. Like
I
that.
won't, because my printers will overhang, because the shelf depth is 24 inches, but some of my printers are deeper than that. Like my N5 Plus is deeper than that, but I can stand it on the shelf because it'll overhang each side, and that's okay.
Jared Upton in chat, I just sent him the link on Facebook. I told him you were live. He lives here in Las Vegas.
Hey, Jared, how are you?
Welcome. Hotel, and he's into 3D printing, resin printing, and all that kind of stuff.
Cool. Well, the chat is open to everybody. If you go to the top of the chat, there's a pinned link to StreamYard if anyone wants to come in and join the conversation.
Oh, remember the picture on Facebook I posted where that really super tall guy came over?
No, I saw the picture of a normal guy with a short guy beside him.
That was Jared Upton. I look like a midget standing next to him. That was Jared.
That's why he's made you. It was a normal guy with a short guy beside him.
Yeah. That's why I said when you done that video with your telescopes, you should have been on your knees with your knees on some shoes and had your son start filming. Go, hi guys, like you're really that tall. That would have been hilarious.
I'll do it sometime.
So.
Well, there's what I could do with that setup that Sam has is I could add 4x2s front and back to build it out, and then use those to put the shelving, the casing around it. I could do that. Height is not a problem, but it's the depth is where I run into space issue. But it's okay. I'll make it work for now. I don't mind it being open because it's easier to gain access to. I don't need enclosures because I don't print material that requires an enclosure. PETG, PLA, TPUs. That's basically what I do. I don't do ABS.
Yeah, some people argue and they say, well, I can print ABS and it doesn't need an enclosure. Well, fine, then go ahead and print it that way. But I have to have it in an enclosure so there's no layer separation and it bonds properly to the bed. But
you don't want to be inhaling. And you don't want to be inhaling the VOCs from it because they're not healthy.
It's the cool air around it that hits it that screws everything up. So
it causes layer separation and warping.
Whether it's a cardboard box or a tent, something for ABS. Yeah. But if you think you don't need it, then that's fine. Everybody has the right to do what they want. So
I tell a lot of people to go out to Craigslist or somewhere like that and buy an old grow tent, small grow tents, and they are perfect enclosures. Because that's basically all an enclosure is, that when you buy the foldable enclosures, they're basically grow tents. So
I bought myself one. A little one.
When I built mine out of wood and plexiglass years ago, I went to Home Depot. The plexiglass, I didn't want the real thin stuff. I'm like, I want to build this nice. So I bought 1/4-inch plexiglass. It was like $170 just in plexiglass. And since then, when I started my CNC out in the garage, I wanted a glass door. I took out the back on my enclosure and put wood in because I needed a piece of plexiglass. No way was I going to go out and spend more money on plexiglass. And besides, that was during all this crap going on. And yeah, it was too expensive.
Well, plexiglass is expensive because it's cast.
Yeah.
It's not extruded like a lot of the cheaper perspex that you get out there is actually extruded, and but the plexiglass is actually cast. It's poured.
Oh, Jared, if you're still listening, I think you're still here. I'm going to be selling all my small printers soon. My TiVo Tarantula Pro, my Ender 3 V2 probably, and I might keep the Ender 3 V2. I'm not sure. And then all my other ones. I got that one that's 500 millimeters tall. I think 2 of them are Ender 3 Pros and 3 of them are regular. I got like 5 machines, 5 or 6 printers I'm going to be selling this month because I need to catch up on bills or I'm going to fall behind.
Yes, they do. It's called the box the printer came in.
Yeah.
So it's so that will be my plan. I'll be doing it in a few weeks, but I hope to have most of the droid assembled and sanded and close to being finished by then. I may even have some of the electronics done by then because I'm going to probably order them this week, and then. But I have a lot of work to do on the assembly and stuff first, so I'll get there.
Yeah. Slow but steady.
Yeah, I'd rather do that. Well, see, time is my enemy. I don't have a lot of it.
You got more than I do.
I don't know about that. I still find that I'm still waiting on that replacement laser or resin. It hasn't arrived yet. And I know there's another one coming to me, an FDM, but they're testing them right now. So when they're finished testing them, they'll ship it out to me. That's another dual extruder, but it's not an IDEX. It's just it's like the Ultimaker dual extruders.
Yeah, the printers I'm only going to be selling locally here in Las Vegas. I'm not going to be shipping them anywhere.
Yeah,
it costs too much.
It's very expensive. But Victor is in Florida, I believe. So, that will be me carried over for the next few weeks.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. He has 2 puppies for his logo.
I thought about to take my dogs as my logo. Two Chihuahuas, you know.
Who's got 2 puppies?
Victor's logo on Facebook is 2 puppies.
What was I going to say again? Did you see the launch today?
2, 3,
No.
4.
Oh,
I'm keeping 5 FDMs. One of which is called my wife's, the FL Sun.
yeah.
I'm going to keep my 2 original CR10s. I'll keep the Hypercube, the CR10 Max, and the FL Sun. And then as more slowly come in for reviewing here and there, then I can slowly, get more printers. But I don't need all the small printers. I don't use them. They just sit. Yeah. It was fun, Jared, way back when you introduced me to Nellis Auction. I got some great deals, and I done some reviews, and I bought a couple. It's just I got too many. So they're just sitting, so I might as well sell them and pay some bills or put it towards whatever. So
yeah, I have I'll be doing something similar. What I do is if I get a printer that I really like, I'll keep it. And if not, if something that comes in that I think is nicer or better, I'll do a switch out and I'll sell off. Or if I don't sell, I'll donate the printer to a school in my area, because instead of shipping anywhere, I can give it. It's been used, and schools that are government-run schools, like state-run schools, appreciate stuff like that because they often don't have that option, right?
Yeah. Then I got the Prusa coming, and the Prusa that's really cool. Joseph Prusa just showed that little base that you can mount underneath it.
Yeah,
it props it up in the air. It looks real beefy with legs, and you
print the legs. Yeah,
underneath it. Yeah, it's really cool. So this weekend I'm going to order a roll of Prusa Mint black, and they're orange, so it can match the printer that I should have coming in the next couple weeks. They say it's 16 weeks on the kit. Also, I'm not going to live stream it. It will take way too long. I looked at the documentation. There's like 80 steps to putting it together from a kit. I can't live stream all that. It'll take too long.
Yeah.
And then nobody's going to rewatch it. So I'm just going to tape it in segments, and then I'll make it look nice and try to condense it. So, and that'll be a video on the kit.
Why not assemble the machine in segments and then do a live show and then assemble it fully?
That's not how it goes together, though.
It's all everything other than the 50-15. Everything is in pieces. Everything. You got to grease bearings, put everything on the rods. Everything has to be put together. So
yeah, the launch today was
like 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, the launch was Starlink.
All my printers I'm selling, most of them have C220 or 270 cameras on them. Most of them have easy ABL sensors, and they got filament runout sensors on them. So they've all been upgraded.
Cool.
So like I say, I just have to go through them, make sure they're working properly, and do a test print on them, and then I'll throw them up on Facebook, Craigslist, and I'm on my group and my page. But no one ever buys anything off my group or page. So, but at least I put it out there, because you never know who might be looking for what, or they might be in Vegas.
You can do them on the. You can post it for sale on the 3D Printer Addicts as well if you want. On the 3D Printing Help Desk group, they're my group. You can post them in there as well.
Yeah, it's better to spend the extra $50 on Prusa and not buy the kit. I save $50. I put it towards the roll of filament. Instead of them making you wait 4 weeks, you have to wait 16 weeks. The only reason I done it, Jared, is because I want to do a video on it, because nobody's done videos on the kit. At least not that I've seen. They've done videos on where you plug in a couple plugs and you put in 4 bolts and you're printing. So I figured it'd be different. So
yeah, it'd be nice to see the end-to-end assembly.
But then if you're not subscribed to my channel, it doesn't matter how many videos I have or what it's about. Nobody's going to see it anyway. So.
And how far are you away from the 1500 now?
The 1500.
Yeah. So are is it 1500 or is it 2500 subscribers?
Oh, 2500. I'm at like 2387, something like that.
Okay.
I still got like 120 to go, 110 to go.
If anyone hasn't subscribed to Jerry's channel, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed to mine, do so now. Like, subscribe, ding that bell so you know when I go live. You called out the details of my stream a while ago. You know more about my viewing hours than I do.
Well, I heard you mention it. I heard you yesterday or something, somewhere you said that you had the watch hours, but you didn't have enough subs. I thought I heard you say that, or vice versa.
Maybe we talked about it last week.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I know you were getting close.
Yeah, I'm about 120 short of the 500, but I don't. The numbers are nice, but to me, they're. I don't track them closely because
When it happens, it
when
happens.
it happens, it happens. It's nice to have. It'd be nice to reach 1,000 so you can monetize, but if I don't, I don't. I'm going about it.
Sam Prentice recommended that I do my droid in PETG instead of PLA Plus. I did have some Ziltech laying around, so I went ahead and I changed instead of doing PLA Plus. But because unless Ziltech sponsors me for like 15 rolls, which I don't think they will, I'm not sure what's going to take to do the droid. But I'm going to use PLA Plus from GST 3D because it's roughly 10 rolls for $100, maybe slightly over 100 with free shipping. And that would be the cheapest way to build the droid. And the PLA Plus is what I've been using on all these droid builds. It prints great. So
yeah, I think the only reason why he recommended the PETG is because if it ever tips over, it'll survive better than PLA will.
Yeah, well, PLA Plus isn't as brittle as PLA. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah. The file to make the CR10 Max full size.
Oh yeah, you got it to work, Cherry?
Yeah, the printer was bought from Tiny Machines by a friend of mine here in Vegas. I contacted them, and they sent, since their hex file, you can't manipulate a hex file. I don't have Tiny Machine source code, so I couldn't go in and edit the source code, the firmware, to change the bed size from 450 to 470. But that's what you have to do. So if you have the source code from Corality or wherever, you can edit your own firmware or have somebody that you know edit it for you, change the bed size in the firmware to 470 by 470. You go into your slicer of choice and change it in there to 470 by 470. That way you can slice it on that size and you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering, Victor, what you were saying. So when you said my wife is 120, I had went, what is he talking about? Yeah, I have nothing about Tiny Machines. Jerry does, but
okay. So if you're build over bot, okay, you got yours from Tiny Machines, all right?
Yeah, but so that should be. Oh, I'm going to try another thing as well. In spare time, you know what that is, Jerry? Hence the air quotes. I'm going to try engraving on my leather. And before you ask, it's empty. I'm going to try. I've actually made a template for it already.
Do you have an old belt you can experiment on? An old belt to experiment before you try it on the wallet?
This is one I've never used.
I know, but you're going to screw up the first time possibly, and you're going to say, okay, let me do the other side.
Well, I'm going to do a really low power first time, and then I'll bump the power up for a next pass if I need to see how it turns out. Then I know wherever I stop at it looks good, I'll increase it a little bit more so I know I'll get a good finish. I'm just going to give it a test to see how it works out because
Build Over Bot, are we friends on Facebook? PM me and I'll send it to you. You'll have to update your screen first. You'll have to open up the printer, take an SD card, wipe it, erase whatever's on it, reformat it, like Michael with Teaching Tech talks about. Then you have to flash that first, put the printer back together, and they can copy over the hex file. The hex file you can use Cura, which wouldn't work for me. I had Prusa Slicer on my printer. It was able to talk to my printer fine. I plugged it in, with the cable, and then I updated firmware through Prusa Slicer, and then I was good to go. Then you got to go in and re-level the bed, stuff like that. But then your bed will be 470 by 470.
I generally use Pronoface is what I use when I'm doing stuff like that.
Okay, do they have an option in Pronoface where you can update firmware?
Yep.
There's a button you click. Okay.
Yeah, and it's very, very basic, and you can do a lot of stuff with it. I do all of my I use Pronoface. I prefer Pronoface to do my like my E-steps and all this kind of stuff. I like using Pronoface for that. It's a nice, simple interface. You've no menu to go through. It's on the screen. It's on the main screen when you run it, and you don't have to install anything. You just run it out. You just unzip it and run the exe, and that's it. And it runs.
Yeah, I downloaded Pronoface today or yesterday evening. And I've been trying to install some software on my printer because also I was doing a pit tune and
PID tuning, yeah.
yeah. So I got it better than what it was before. Instead of having it 50 C dropping or going up, I have it only 10 to 15 C dropping
Run it again
and going up.
No,
Yeah, I know.
Keep running it. It will. What it's trying to do is trying to learn the right resistance, because those little glass balls based on resistance, and it learns the resistance settings is what it's trying to do. It's trying to teach itself. So do more iterations is what you need to do.
Yeah,
and it might fine tune it.
I'm probably gonna do 25 next time.
Try 15 first. They say
Yeah.
10 should be the minimum. Anything less than 10 is not going to be anyway decent, right? But they say minimum PID tune at 10 iterations, so it'll be S10.
Yeah, I know.
And then, but you may have to bring it up to 15 or whatever if you're off by an awful lot. If not, if you can't get it to tune well, I would say you want to look at changing the thermistor.
I did already.
Oh, is it the right type of thermistor for that printer?
Yes, yes. It came
All right.
original. I only have original stock.
Okay, the reason why is if it's the wrong thermistor, you can get misreadings like that as well.
Yeah.
Could be your heater cartridge could be playing up too. So
It's brand new.
Oh, okay.
Build over
Everything is
bot.
brand new. The whole hot end is brand new.
Yeah.
Build over bot. Is your name Robert? I got my screen is covered. Let me know if he answers yes.
Yeah, he hasn't responded yet.
You seen the droid? What's this one guy building with one of my lithofanes?
The one with the beer. Yeah, we saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice getting there slowly.
Is he going to put a light in it? He said it is.
Yes.
Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna put a green light in it, or maybe a flashing green light. He's gonna put in. So
Well, some printers have PID tuning turned on in the menu if you're using the stock Marlin and if it's enabled. But a lot of times it's not enabled in the menu, and you have to go in through and type the command
Interface.
to run a PID tune.
yeah, it also comes up when I ask for PAT tune.
In the menu?
A picture pops up on my printer saying, "Do you want to quit pit tuning or do you want continue?" That's what it asked me.
Yeah, but you don't have a menu option in there to say PID tune.
No.
Okay. So you should PID tune to the temperature you're printing at or slightly above it.
Yeah, 215.
That's a good for PLA. Normally you do PLA at 195, 200 maybe,
Yeah.
depending on the PLA. But yeah, about 215 is close enough to be accurate. Like if you're doing PETG, you'd be doing it at 235, 240. Because that's what, like I have one printer and that I only do PETG on that, nothing else. And that's my Ender 5 Plus. And I PID tuned that at 235, which is the temp I print at. And it might vary by 1 degree up and down, but that's it. So anybody else want to come in and join the conversation if you want? The link is on the top of your chat. It should be a StreamYard link there. Just mute your YouTube before you click on the link, so we don't get audio feedback when you do join us. It is open to anybody and everybody to come in and join. Tell us what you're working on. Built over bot. If you want to come in and join and have a convo with Jerry about the firmware and so on, you're welcome.
Yeah, I just sent him something.
Oh, iPad Garage. What iPad Garage? Who's iPad Garage? Oh,
Tripod's Garage. John's
no,
here.
not Tripod.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not.
No.
It's
Oh, no, that's
Llama.
Llama.
Oh, Lana. What's going on, buddy?
What's up?
Your audio is good. Your video is 1920s.
You
Yeah,
like
you're kind of moving like this.
Yeah, it's very jumpy.
Is it jumpy? Yeah.
But that's only the video, but the audio is okay.
Quality looks pretty good,
Yeah,
except for your
you're-
face.
Audio was terrible and the video was great.
Well, when you're not moving around, it doesn't seem as jumpy because the jumps are slow.
That's looking good.
No, Viking, he's not on dial-up. He's on pigeon.
Yeah.
Carrier pigeon.
Not turtles.
No, carrier pigeon speed is what he's doing on his iPad. So that's your big CNC. Is it working yet?
Nice.
That is a big CNC, and it's going to get this big ass thing put on it tonight.
Oh, that's your new router head, right?
Yeah, that's the actual spindle.
What is the RPM on that? 20,000?
It'll go from 100 RPMs to 22,000.
22,000. Okay. Cool. So you can do aluminum and everything on that.
1,000 to 20,000. That's the
Yeah.
problem. People don't realize they think the spindle goes faster. It's not that the spindle goes faster. It's that the spindle will actually go slower, a lot slower.
Depending on the material you're working on, yeah.
Yeah, it won't burn. When you burn wood, it's because you're going too fast.
You're going too fast and you're not traveling at enough speed, so it's spending too much time in one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. So if we ever
Sounds
need big
scary.
signs done in acrylic or anything, we send it to Tom.
There you go.
So have you actually done any work on it yet? Actually cut anything on it?
Yeah. Done a few things.
Show us some samples. Let me put you up on the big screen. Want to see some samples? Ooh, that's
I've seen that one.
nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
That's like the last thing I did.
That's how long did that take?
5-6 hours.
Yeah, well, I have a 30.
It took me like 3 days to get it to the point where I could CNC it. The actual file.
Why? What did you use to slice it? I like the clock.
It's Sergio's logo.
Yeah, that'd make a lovely clock.
It is a clock. I just got
Yeah,
it
but
on.
you haven't put the back in. Did you need a hollow out? Oh, you hollowed out the back as well for the.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
already.
nice.
Got a
That's
little
very
left,
cool.
pulled it off the wall.
Very nice.
It looked like
So, are you going to
no scrap, but it actually looks really nice. So,
It looks fantastic, actually.
well, it's got a bunch of splinters in it because I got freaking 30 bits for $15 off of Amazon. That's what I was using to cut it with. Just
You can sand them out, though.
Literally the first thing I cut.
Yeah, but you can sand those out, so it's not a problem.
Yeah. Well, the sanding it and then well, you can't really sand out the plywood, like I said. See right here, that's actually.
Oh yeah, that's
when I was doing the edge, but it actually looks nice once I got the finish on it.
yeah. It darkens it now.
Look bad. There's another one right here. Did the same thing.
That's flaws in the wood, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, the laminate peeled away from the bit
Oh,
because it's a cheap ass bit that didn't cut very well.
still, it looks really good.
Yeah, it didn't. It's
Now
not bad.
the other one, can the other file that you have?
This was the file. I bought this. Off of
Yeah.
the actual artwork.
What did you use to slice it?
Yeah, I didn't slice it.
You have to. Well, you create a toolpath, right?
Yeah, I created a toolpath. So,
In what?
Same day slicing, I guess.
Yeah.
I did it in Fusion.
Yeah, that's what I use as well. Yeah, I do. I've done. You saw my Mars one, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done a couple, and I don't have a big CNC like that. I have mine's only a 3018, but a small one I could do my 3018. The big one I couldn't.
Yeah.
He actually said he didn't use V-Carve. He used he said he used Fusion 360. Actually, Fusion now has V-Carve built in, so you can actually do a toolpath in Fusion that does V-Carve. They've added it.
You can do 3D. The problem is they want you to pay for it.
No, it's in there, isn't it? In the free version.
No, you can do it. Every single toolpath has to be exported and re-imported separately. You can't say, okay, I'm going to do a clearing with a big bit, and then I'm going to do a clearing with a medium-sized bit.
Well, yes, you have to do.
Carving fine bit, and then I'm going to cut it out with a reverse spiral bit at the end. Each path has to be exported separately.
Correct, because you don't have an automatic tool changer. Now, if you had an automatic tool changer, then you would have to pay for it to use a tool changer.
No, you got to pay for it to use a tool changer.
That's what I just said. Apparently, you have to buy your tool changer. You have to pay for it to use a tool changer feature because that's a professional version.
Yeah.
But for doing individual tool paths, you just export it as file 1, 2, 3, 4, and just make sure you change over the bit and zero them out each time.
Yep.
Do you have electronic zeroing, or do you have to manually do it?
Either or.
Okay. Yeah, I have both as well on my 3018.
Stops just like a printer, and I can zero it out wherever I want.
Oh, you guys, I had today my second jab today.
Okay, how you feel? What company?
AstraZeneca.
Okay, yeah, you don't get them over here that much. It's mostly in Europe they are.
Yeah. I feel okay. I feel high in a way, but tired now too.
I don't have a plasma. That'd be nice to have a plasma.
But
the only CNC I have is the 3018 desktop.
Yeah, I really didn't want this big monstrosity. My brother was like, "Let's get the big one. Just get the big one." I'm like,
well, if I had the space, I'd do what you have, right? But I don't have the space for it.
Yeah, Trevor has 3 or 4 tiny machines.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Trevor has 3 or 4 tiny machine CR10 Max machines that had their firmware on it. And a lot of times when it would run out of filament, he'd go to do a change. He said 50% of the time when it started back up, he would have a layer shift, and the bed will automatically cool down. It isn't set up like Tim's firmware where the bed stays hot. So he suggested to me, first off, while it's printing, I unplugged the filament runout sensor. And then when I got close to the end of the roll, when I was getting ready to go to bed, I went ahead. He said, turn it down to 10%, make sure it's printing on the inside, not on an outside edge. So I got on the touch screen, went down to 10% where it's barely printing on the inside edge. I pulled it out, stuck the other one in, cranked it back up to 100. It took about 10 or 15 seconds, and then it picked right back up and kept printing. So on that machine with that firmware modified by them just for safety, I'll make sure that's how I do all my swaps.
Yeah, on a direct drive, it's easy because you just snip it off, the filament off just above as it goes into the extruder, or just above the filament sensor, right? And then you get the next filament and put it in and push it in behind it, and then you put it down into your extruder as it's going. And once the gears grip it, you walk away. It's done.
Well, on Tim's machines, or on all the printers where I've got TH3D firmware and a filament runout sensor, the sensors work great. It pauses the print, it ejects it. I put the new one in, starts back up. The bed stays hot, no problems. You can sit there for 5 or 6 days waiting for you to replace filament, and it would just take over. But evidently on the CR10 Max, there's an issue. I don't know if it's with their version of the firmware or just what, but he suggested that's how I switch it. I'm just saying that for anybody that has that particular printer and you want to do a swap, that's how I was told to do it, and it worked fine.
So that works, right?
So,
I think Dominic needs to explain what trans-vaccinated means. Because I haven't heard that term before.
I know.
He'll tell us. But so everyone here is vaccinated now, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah, I am fully now.
Are you covered, Tom?
Oh, 100%. I have been since March.
Excellent.
For one, I'm old. For two, I had to get it early because I'm a caretaker, so I'm considered medical.
Oh, yeah, because you take care of your mom, yeah.
So they made me do it early, or even. Oh, crap. I forgot all that stuff. Oh, well. I'll figure it out.
Nope, get it tomorrow.
Crap is falling down, falling down, falling down.
Sorry for laughing.
No,
I get it now.
Why do you have to wait till July, Maker? Your age group, they're making you wait that long over there? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, they're slower to roll it out in Europe as well. They're like they rolled it out much faster here than they did in Europe.
Huh.
And the number of vaccines that are available, is actually less because some of the companies had contracts with the US that they had to meet. And so they had to meet the demand and supply here first. Even though they were making it in Europe, they were contractually required to ship it here.
Yeah.
So because the agreements were already in place if it's needed. So
Well, we got the money and the population to pay for it, so they can keep what it was.
well, a lot of it here was actually paid for in advance. Yeah.
Yeah, we paid for it so they could keep making it for the other countries. And that ain't no lie.
Yeah. So it's
All right, that was easy to part.
well, that's slow. She works in healthcare. That's really slow.
Huh.
Because the first people here in the US were actually the healthcare workers.
Yeah. All the first responders and stuff.
Yeah, healthcare, fire department, nurses, doctors, anyone who does like physical therapists and all those guys. Even if you worked as a janitor in a hospital, you got it first.
Yeah, we have a problem over here that the dentists are closing now because the dentists they don't get enough jobs to do,
Correct.
and so
Well,
they're closing the business.
Well,
We're gonna
yeah,
have a shortage of dentists, and we have already shortage of dentists. Now even more shortage of dentists. That will just drive the price of dentists up.
it won't. They'll all come back into business once everyone's up and being taken care of. They will.
I hope so. I hope we get some kind of normality. I mean, we have so much shortages now, and
Same here.
I mean, I have filament shortages. I have, so much shortages. I try to get some printer parts. I can't get it because I have to order from China.
Well, the
Even
big
if I
thing
order
there
from
is
China, there's not a guarantee that I get it because they say in production, and I have to wait 6 weeks for production to finish.
well, the other thing is the biggest issue you have right now is because of Britex, because Olama's coming back in.
Yeah,
You want me to drop the other one?
Who's on the big screen? Is that a new color of black we're looking at?
I'm going to remove the other one, okay?
Oh yeah, I didn't know it did another one.
Yeah, you got a double, so I just kicked out the other one.
Someone was
There you go. Now you look good, Llama.
Okay, I just kicked that one out. So, yeah, but the issue you have is because of Britex, your customs and immigration is taking forever to get anything done. I mean, it's so bad right now. I know some printer companies had shipped printers 2 months ago that arrived in the UK and they haven't left immigration yet or customs yet. They're still stuck in customs.
Frozen's coming out with an 8K printer. They got a Kickstarter starting up, but I don't see how you get any better than what's already out there now. But that's what they're saying. They want like $1,000 for it. It's a bigger build volume. It appears to have doors on it. I don't know the exact specs.
Yeah, they're
read
calling
about
it a professional version, aren't they?
No, I don't know. For $1,000, they need to call it something to make you interested in it.
Yeah, it's I saw the notice of the Kickstarter. It looks like a big machine.
Yeah, but lots of big boxes have little tiny electronics and a lot of dead space. You go, wow, look what I got. This is,
I agreed. So. Yeah, it's a pain. But there's a lot of new stuff coming out. Like I know there's even some small resins coming out later on in the year. Some smaller resins and stuff. Not everybody's going bigger and bigger again. Some of them
everything. The market is saturated with everything that everybody already has. So they come out and say, okay, let's put the extruder over here. Let's put the screen over here.
Yeah.
Let's make it a different color. There's already so much of everything already out there.
Yeah, there's
nothing new and what do you call it? Innovative.
Well, the FL Sun SR is going to be it looks like it's going to be a nice printer because it prints so fast. They say the standard speed on that is 150. That's normal speed for it. Like you won't be doing 50 millimeters a second print on that thing, unless you're doing unless you slow it down to do TPU
Well,
or whatever.
it sucked that it took 6 days for this helmet, but I was using a 0.4 nozzle. Like a lot of people said, you should use at least a 6, if not an 8.
Yeah.
And I was only printing like 60 millimeters a second. I don't need to crank it way up. I don't, I'm in no hurry to get it done. But yeah, 6 days is a long time.
It is. And I've done prints like that.
At 6 days, if something could possibly happen or your power could go out, I am on a UPS backup, but still, that would only be good for so long. So,
How long do you think this print took?
What is it? Are we only
My
seeing
little
one?
thing. Yeah,
that's a
my
week.
elephant one.
That's a week.
each one probably took 3 or 4 hours each side.
Oh, no.
No.
There's
Oh,
a day
no.
per side, I'd say. I'm guessing
Here comes Betty
5
Boo.
days. 6 days.
No.
Hi everybody, how are y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Howdy.
Hey,
That's Llama working on a CNC in the garage.
took me 8.5 days.
Yeah. Oh, so it's 2 days aside then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I cut down on. I cheated a little bit. Instead of using fine, I used 1.5 mil setting.
That's still fine.
Yeah, but still, I see the difference, and it cuts. It used to be 12 or 13 days for that print.
Okay, then. Oh crap! This thing weighs a ton.
You found Matt. Why was he lost? Did you see that, Jerry? She said she found Matt. So I said, why was he lost? Yeah, I know. The lithophanes take 2 days aside. Like I know you've often done some that are 2 days a print or more.
Yeah, it'll take a long time. I love them. I just hope now we're gonna start selling them.
Can
Especially
FDM printer parts that have high temp requirements be printed with resins? Well, yes and no. Resin is often more heat tolerant, and you can get higher temp resins because they don't need heat to print them. They're printed cold, well, warm. But FDM resins are often more brittle in a lot of cases than an FDM. So it depends on the application. But yes, you can. You can get high temp resins, and you can get high strength resins, and you can get good parts out of it. But depending on the stresses on the part, it may not be a good application for it because it is brittle. It tends to crack a lot easier than other. Like PETG won't crack that easy. It'd rather bend and flex than crack. Whereas a resin, if you try and bend it, it'll give way. It'll crack.
Yep.
Here you go. Here's your solution. You found me in the dating app.
From what my dishwasher says, we're all lost unless we have a boss. I don't understand that statement. What's your dishwasher got to do with anything?
It's for seeing the future, I think. That's what
Like-
he means by it.
Going back to the question, like this, there's a little bit of flex in this, but not much. If I try to flex that will crack right down. That'll crack on probably the sides here, right? Whereas a lot of other material will actually give you some flexion. Hey, Sparky, how are you? We're all doing okay. We're all alive and well. And you? Remember, guys, like, subscribe, ding that bell, and the link, if you want to come in and chat, is there at the top of your YouTube chat. Very top, there's a sticky link there. Mute your YouTube, click on that link, and you come in and join the conversation.
I think it'll work.
Oh, maybe.
I'm gonna have to see. Gosh darn it.
Hey, Tripod, how are you, man? The link is there if you want to come join us at the top.
Tripod.
You know you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. If we can fit as many as we can fit in, they're welcome. So feel free to join us. Or you're uniting with your wife. That's dangerous work. That's dangerous tack to take. You know.
I hand wash and use my dishwasher. I do both. What fits in the dishwasher usually goes in it, then I hand wash everything else. And then sometimes I just hand wash.
Good to hear, Sparky. Yeah.
And I even do
in the video. Okay. But yeah, I going around and knowing your wife calling her the dishwasher. That's one way of having a very short, unhealthy life. So I wouldn't do it.
Get a Spartan ready or give her a present.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Because you want to put as much as you can into it in some cases.
I made my wife happy. I'm wearing my wedding ring. Well, I got 2 different rings, and I got one of them on. I usually don't wear my ring.
You can hear her cheering in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to have to take it apart this far, but that's like.
Why, Cherry, you get hit on a lot of women?
No, not being fat, I don't. Not being overweight. No, but you have better chances wearing a ring to get hit on than not having one on.
Really?
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they know that you got somebody you have to go home to, and you're not going to be bugging them. They can be anyway. So.
You know you ain't gonna hang around.
We've realized over the last months and months and months that we've been hanging out with Jerry on my stream and on his streams and so on. Jerry likes punishment.
Yeah.
Okay, if I like punishment, I would say something like this.
Oh, no. You promised her to be nice.
Say it.
She told me to say it.
Say it.
And I can
Okay.
Say it.
Okay. She's happy that I'm wearing the ring, and she's cheering. Well, in a couple of weeks on June 16th, I'll be happy and cheering because she gets on an airplane and goes to Florida. And I got a button for that. Here she comes. She told me to say it. Now she's going to come choke
Yeah,
me.
we're all witnesses. We heard her say that. And
All the
everybody on
time.
YouTube was
Give him a hug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'll.
You know when they say it, you actually don't
Huh? I love you.
post that.
Okay.
Oh, shucks.
If you had smell-o-vision, you go, Brandy, go brush your teeth. Ooh, she's going to come back now.
Oh, you're going to get smacked now for it.
Oh.
She just sat down. She won't get right back up.
You're forgetting there's lots of models. She can throw them.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good to start throwing models and knocking stuff off. I had an ex-wife that did that, like to throw things, knock things over. That's not good.
No. I had a woman like
I would have to
that.
leave the screen to deal with it.
I immediately cut off her and stopped seeing her.
Yeah.
So as soon as violence get involved, I get out of it. I get scared, and it's not nice violence in any form. Even though it's not directly at you, but it's at your objects what you owe. And I mean, I had a woman. She literally peed on my computer.
What?
Yeah.
Did I hear him right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
That's why I'm giggling.
Don't repeat it. Sorry.
She was so
Yeah,
mad with me because I was on I got a brand new computer and I had it maybe for a week.
You
And
had
she
him on the
said,
floor.
"Oh, what you do is staying on the computer," and I only spend 2 hours a day on it, and because I was working at that time, and I was trying to rearrange the programs and all of this, and then one night I went early to bed because I was tired, and I went to bed, and she comes up, and she goes right next to me and says, "Matt, I know you're gonna be mad, but I pissed on your laptop," and I'm like,
Well, if that
"What?"
electricity went up the stream, she'd never do that again.
Oh.
Yeah, well, he's
was a grand worth of
plugged in at the
laptop.
time.
Oh.
A grand.
Oh well, yeah. Let's talk about something different because that's not a good conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about 3D printing and stuff.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Actually, that's what I used it for 3D printing because I bought also a 3D printer at that time. But then a few months later, it got nicked. I got broken into.
No. Well, so Lama looks like he has to rebuild half of his Z-axis because of the.
God damn it!
Butterfingers.
He's having a good day. You can hear.
Even on the video, they're showing
If
it.
you have butterfingers, you need to eat butterfingers.
When you get older, you just drop everything all the time.
I love Butterfinger. This is just a really kind of not easy.
Oh, this is what I miss over here, Butterfingers.
See that blood blister? When I was
Yeah.
working on my friend's fence last Saturday, I had gloves I brought with me in the truck, some nice gloves, but I didn't bother putting them on. And I was screwing his wood fence back together with my drill, and I kept slipping and hitting my thumb. Well, eventually I got a blood blister out of it.
I'm sure you get this pure stat, it'll go away.
Yeah.
Drain it.
No, there's not. It'd be all right. Looks like a mole at the moment.
Yeah. I normally drain them.
What'd I say?
when they happen.
Oh, yeah, my son's fence.
Yeah. So is he happy with the job you did?
Yeah, I just kind of jerry-rigged it back together with what he had, and it's fine until we do something better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went by and bought some groceries, and I came home, told him how much he transferred my account for me doing the work for him. Because I charge my son to do side work. When he's perfectly able to do things himself and doesn't want to, Dad charges him.
Dad to the rest.
Yeah, Daddy to the rescue. I
Well-
don't know. Shirt says that. Oh, I got a shirt that says Grandpa to the rescue.
Well, the other side to that is, if you had to get someone in to do it, it cost him 5 times the price probably.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So
Some things I do for free, but typically I charge. When I do side work and I'm being retired, I charge $25 an hour, which is nothing. That's nothing. And I used to do it for multiple people, but I don't anymore. Occasionally I do things here and there. I'd rather sit on my butt, 3D print stuff, and watch Netflix than go do a side job. So, yeah, my wife says get fatter and fatter and
I
fatter.
concur with you there, Jerry.
Jerry, get an exercise bike. And then put a dynamo on it.
We used to have one.
And
in
then produce your own electric to produce, power for your YouTube video. Every time you stop paddling, your stream goes down, so you have to keep paddling to keep your stream up.
Yeah. Ooh.
I think
Sorry, Jerry.
I think it's the only problem about buying exercise equipment. Like my brother bought some really nice exercise equipment when he got his new house.
Never use it.
It's they're clothes hangers.
Oh,
That's what he uses them for. He puts clothes in them.
okay.
So he doesn't use it for exercise. He hangs stuff all over it. Like take something off, and he wants to use it like a sweater or whatever. Goes over the exercise bike.
I will say my Bowflex will hold a full load of laundry.
For drying, that right?
Right. So I don't have to run it in the dryer. I can put it on the Bowflex, and it'll hold the whole load.
Oh, the question for you, Matt.
Yes, look me up on Thingy Universe, Matt German. Type it in one word, and I should pop up. And I have 2 different beer cans. I have a similar Heineken can to that, and I have a Guinness can. I have available
Dumbass.
on the Thingy Universe, free to download.
Hey, Matt.
And if you're willing to give me a pound or 2, please support me in any way you can. Thank you.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
My wife wants me to print your elephant lamp for her.
All right. That's
that
a big
possible?
one. Yeah, I can send you the STL file.
Okay.
Will take a long time.
Put
The
the
big
That's
one.
fine. I have nothing but time.
This is the square one or the round one she wants, Jerry?
Square one I have.
Round one.
It's a
Round one.
round one
Oh, the round one, the big lithophane lamp. What I put in the.
for the ceiling light. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If that's possible.
Yeah. The only thing is, I need to find out the diameter of your. I don't know if the diameter fits because of the.
He's got big printers. That'll fit no problem.
No. I mean the light socket diameter.
I can always change it. If it's an STL, I'll just throw it in a slicer and I can always modify it.
Yeah, you can put it in a larger hole or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could do it from scratch, but since you do this all the time, I
Yeah.
figured I might as well just ask you instead of me going in and tweaking everything by hand and figuring it out. If that's okay
Yeah.
with you.
Otherwise, I would make you a fresh one, the same exact one with the same setting, just with a bigger diameter, Of
Yeah. My subs, I've got 2387. I'm looking now.
Oh, good.
Wow, good.
And a lot of people that just watch my R2 Dome video, I don't know why people watch it, but they don't give me a thumbs up. I guess no thumbs up is better than a thumbs down. So
I did, didn't I?
yeah, well, I don't know
I
who
did
did.
too.
But I'm saying I wish whenever I go on any YouTube video, if I watch anybody's video, it doesn't matter if I know them or not. First thing I do is I hit thumbs up, and if I like any content they have, I subscribe. And right now I've got like 300 or 400 subs I need to go through and clean out. I just have way too many people I've subbed to that I don't watch that often. But at the time, I liked them.
Those thumbs up actually make a difference on your rating on YouTube.
Yes, everything.
They make a huge difference. Subscribing and thumbs up doubles that.
Subscribing is free. A lot of people might think it's going to cost them something. Subscribing is perfectly free.
Yeah. You only pay if you're joining. What's it called on YouTube? Where you join?
No, you got to be a real big channel to have.
You become a member. That's it. You have to become a member.
Here you go, Jerry. I just did one more.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you become a member,
Brandy
on YouTube, you pay for membership. Because you can release stuff in advance to members before you do to the public.
Tim just left a comment on it. He says, "Looks awesome, Jerry."
Cool.
Yeah, I figured I printed the dome. Why don't I make a little bit of video out of it? So I figured, okay, I'll tape it right before it's done. When it gets done, and tell what I did in the process. And I, threw out a little bit of information there that somebody might find useful.
Yeah, it looks good. So with a 0.8, the only difference a 0.8 will do for you is mean you'll have to do half as many walls. So if you're doing 4 walls right now outside and 4 walls on the inside, you'd only end up doing 2 on the outside, 2 on the inside, because your wall width would be, instead of being 0.4, it'd be 0.8. So each wall, so you get a 1.6 mil wall with just 2 passes instead of 4. So that would speed up your overall time per layer, is what it would do. And you could do thicker layers. So instead of doing 0.2 layers, you can do a 0.4 or 0.6 layer. It'd be rougher, but you're going to be sending and filling it anyway, so it won't matter.
I think I have some 0.6 nozzles I have to look and check. And then if I do, I'll put one on the max, because that'll be used for a lot of droid parts coming up.
Yeah. And now it would be rougher, but you'll like with a 0.6, you can do a 0.4 layer height.
I want to do a 0.20 layer height.
Oh, well, if you do a 0.20, the only thing you're going to gain by going with a larger nozzle is less passes for the wall thickness. But if you want to go up, if you want to speed up your print, you should increase the layer height so you spend.
I don't want to lose quality. The whole key is I don't want to lose quality. I want it to look just as good as it does now with a bigger nozzle.
Okay, so you're going to just do less walls then, is what you're going to do.
So I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I think Jason said that if I go to a 0.6 nozzle, I usually don't have to tweak anything. It should just work. If I go to a 0.8, then I might have to learn how to fine-tune this or that. And that's why I've always printed with a 0.4, because I don't want to go in and experiment and trial and error. I just want it to print. And like I said before, look at all the crap behind me.
Hey, Shane.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, pretty
What
good.
are you up to?
I just got in from doing stuff outside, weed whacking, doing adult stuff.
Yeah.
He's wet his weed.
Yeah,
I'm glad you back.
Yeah, the question is, what type of weed were you whacking?
Yeah.
Japanese knotweed.
That sounds like me now.
Ooh, that's bad stuff. I had
Yep.
Japanese knotweed going under my house, and it came through the concrete floor through.
You have weeds coming through the floor?
In my past house where I was living in, I had Japanese knotweed coming through the concrete in my house.
Inside?
Yep.
Wow, that foundation was cracked all the way through.
No, yeah, actually, it did it over several years. The plant I had over a couple of years in my back garden, and I reported the plant because here in England it's an invasive species. So I had a couple of people coming around that were poisoning it, and I said that's not going to do nothing to it, And they said, "Oh yeah, it will work," and no, did not work. It worked for the top layer, but not underneath the layer.
You know, all cracks are all the way through on concrete. If you got any kind of a crack, it's all the way through. Yeah. You wouldn't have a crack.
Do you know what really works to kill weeds? But you won't be able to grow anything there for a long time.
Oil, salt.
Diesel. Put diesel on it, and it will kill everything around it, and nothing will come up for years.
Diesel's illegal to pour on the ground.
Well, when I was younger, we had there was one part of our garden that was uncontrollable, and we had some brambles, which are like blackberry bushes, or black currants, or no blackberry. But in Ireland,
Raspberries.
blackberries grow wild, and in the UK, you find them on the side of the streets and the country roads are wild everywhere, right? And to get rid of those, pour diesel on them, gone. Within a week, they're all dead, and they will not come back.
Yeah, nothing else will either.
That's but the diesel will break down naturally over years, and then you can grow whatever you want, and after a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, you can start using the land again.
My son that just bought that new truck a week ago already wants to spend more money on it and upgrade it. Something to do when he opens up the doors or some kind of neon lights that light up underneath all 4 doors or something like
nice.
that. And now he's talking about wanting to put cab lights on it. He paid $63,000. He's making payments on.
Hey, Marcus.
Just drive it. Quit trying to find things to change. Just drive it.
You can come join the chat if you want, Marcus. The link's at the top of YouTube. Just mute your YouTube before you click on the link.
All right, guys, I'm gonna say good night.
All right, Matt.
I'm feeling really tired from my inoculation, so thank you very much, everybody.
Well, take care, Matt.
So Matt would work too. Yeah.
Yeah, send me over that file whenever.
Yeah.
Just ping him on Facebook.
Yeah.
He'll send it to you.
Right now.
But yeah, but so that will kill off everything though. That really works. So if you want to come in and join us, Marcus, you're free to. Same for anybody else. We have 2 spots available. So if anyone wants to come in and join the chat, click on the link at the top of YouTube chat. But so what are you working on, Shane?
So I am working on the sensors for my DDR pad. So they use these things called force sensitive resistors.
Yeah, let me bring you up full screen so we can all see.
Little dance thing again?
Yeah, I'm redoing it because the one that I have, I want to make it better, obviously.
Looks like a memory stick from here.
Yeah,
it's a pressure pad, is it?
So it's a bit of copper tape, aluminum foil piece for the top, and carbon filters.
Oh, cool.
So I'm trying to find the one that I have laying around here.
You see that, Jerry?
Thank you, Loopy.
Let me grab this printer here. There's an example of them right here. They use them on 3D printers for leveling sensors.
Oh, so you're building a Delta?
No, this is for a DDR pad. This is just a crappy Delta printer that I have here that uses them as a sensor. That's like a common use. Like you'll see these little disc ones. I'm just making kind of long and skinny ones.
Oh, cool.
So that's basically what it's going to be.
So when it's finished, are you going to show us how it works?
No.
I have video.
Yeah, Llama's seen me.
Oh, you have video? You have to share that with the rest of us of him doing Dance Dance Revolution.
I will on Discord.
Yeah, you have to share it with us, with Tom. But that would cool. I've never tried rebuild one of those.
Yeah, I mean it's got other uses as well. Like I could probably turn that into like a controller, so you can make it into a big controller if you wanted.
Yeah. How are you feeling, Mylan? You've been in bed for a few days. So how are you after your? You looked okay, but are you suffering a little bit now? He's not doing. He's been in bed for a few days. He's probably not doing too good.
Oh, come on.
Apparently, things not going so well for Llama.
No, it's not.
What's wrong?
The bolts are too big, so they're rubbing on the aluminum.
If only you had a CNC machine to fix that. Oh, wait. That's the one you're fixing.
Yeah, CNC wouldn't fix that. I had a feeling they would be, but I was hoping they'd slide right in the channel, but they don't quite.
Do you have a grinder? You can grind them down a bit?
No, you can't. They wouldn't be strong enough. I have other screws that are. I have some of the low profile screws.
You guys already had bones.
I was
Already
hoping
gave you bones.
Yeah. Cool. So when are you going live next, Jerry? Are you going live this weekend?
I don't know. I'm working on the TV Saturday, so I don't think I will afterwards. I might. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I might just randomly go live, but
Okay.
I'm not going to schedule it, so I'm not sure yet. And I thought about doing it today. I'm like, nah, Liam's going live today, so I can't do that. I might tomorrow, but I don't know yet. It depends. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done. I'll wait and see.
I have a meeting tomorrow night. What
Live stream? My live streams have really been fizzling out for the last couple months or so. Not many people hanging out, joining in. They've been kind of fizzling, so I don't know.
Yeah, weather's getting nicer, so everybody's probably out and about.
Yeah, maybe with the summer weather.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do it on a Friday. That's a bad day to do it. People usually get off work and they want to get out and go somewhere.
Well, Saturdays are often good, I think. Saturday afternoons or whatever.
You can pick the right time that somebody else may not be on. I mean, everybody can stream whenever they want, obviously, because you have to. But depending on who's on, try to schedule it whenever you can. Yeah,
like I like to do unboxings on a Saturday morning. The reason why I like Saturday morning is because we have some people who are in Chewy, you can come in and join the chat if you want.
What's up, Chewy?
The link is at the top of your YouTube chat. Just mute your YouTube before you click on it. But
after all the live streams I've done for the last year or so, I've determined it's best to do an unboxing and tape it. That way you're to the point, people can watch it and not spend a couple hours doing something that nobody's going to rewatch because they don't want to sit through all the chat BS. They just want to see it. So it's best all unboxings are taped, I think. So that's what I want to make sure.
Well, I seem to get a good turnout though when I do a live unboxing. So people seem to turn out for it, and they probably won't watch it afterward, and that's okay.
That's why it needs to be taped, so they will watch it today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and 6 months as you grow.
Yeah, but I do tape it. It is recorded, but I do. But I mean, following up with a review of the product. That's what people mostly want to see anyway, right?
I think the reason most people don't do videos is they don't want to edit. They either don't know how to edit or don't want to take the time to edit, and that's the whole reason. But since I switched over from Movie Studio Platinum 16 to DaVinci Resolve, I'm getting very comfortable with DaVinci Resolve, and it's getting every time I edit with it, I can go faster and faster because I'm knowing where this button is, where that button is, and
Hey, Chewy.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going, guys?
Good. You?
Oh, really good. Really good.
What are you up to?
I was just about to start working on the website is what I was about to crank into. And then I was about to click over to YouTube for some music. And I'm like, oh, there's Astro Printer. You're on. So
yeah. You're always welcome. You know that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Chewy, when I went into DaVinci Resolve, there was a button down at the bottom for editing your video, and there was a slider right there. I made it as bright as I could, but why it filmed all of a sudden, maybe I had it on manual mode before, maybe this time I turned it off automatic, one click, and I went to flash off. Maybe it was a manual mode, and the UR code on that bag I can't find, but they had no explanation other than you stick it in the printer, here you plug in your camera, so there was still no explanation, but I'm pretty sure it's because I didn't have it in manual mode. For some reason, it went real dark.
Because it was auto sense. It was auto focusing and all this kind of stuff. If you put it in manual mode, you can then set the ISO to probably, if it's a lit room, 200 would be fine.
But what I'm saying is, on all my other videos, I didn't have to do that. It just looked perfect.
I know, but if you do it on manual mode and you get it right and you test a few shots and it looks great, it will never change because there's no auto anything built in.
I had a test picture right in front of it before the time lapse, and it looked perfect. And then when I started the time lapse, they were all really super dark. And it's like, what the hell happened? And the only thing I had changed was bought a 64 gig SD card and put in the camera.
That wouldn't do it though.
I don't know. It's just weird. They were all dark except for that one picture. Because when I would set up the camera, I click on one picture just for the hell of it to make sure it looks good. Then every time it takes a picture at a different layer, it takes another picture. The screen lights up in the back, and I can see what it's looking at. So I don't know what happened.
When I'm doing for astrophotography now, it's different, right? Because I'm doing longer exposures. I sometimes do exposures that are 10 or 12 minutes long per shot. for a single shot, right? But you have to do it manual mode. You put it in manual and bulb mode, right? Because bulb mode means you can the timing is set by you, and then and you might want to play with it, but I would probably do an ISO, maybe ISO 200 or 400, no higher than 400, and I would probably set it at in a bright room, maybe 1/32 or 1/16 of a second per shot at most.
Yeah. I consulted after I talked to you online. I consulted Chewy on a PM also on Facebook with this and that, and he's like, "Well, you can send it over to me and I can fix it for you, or check or just Google it." And then I went into DaVinci and I found it. I went on YouTube, typed in what I wanted to do with DaVinci, and once it told me, it was right there in front of me. Just click and boom, I slid it.
Yeah.
And I got it as bright as I could get it, and I just went with it.
Were you bummed?
Now, see, I would have done it a little differently because since that is an actual individual image per frame, I would have just put it into I would have gone into Photoshop and changed it in Photoshop, and then I would have made a batch, and it would have went and changed all of them the same way, and it would have uniformed them out. It would have been, a little more brighter, but I mean, that's how I would have done it. But of course,
in DaVinci Resolve, when I copy over a folder that has all those pictures in it, the minute I drop it on my timeline, it automatically connects them like a video. So when I change anything on that screen, it changes all of them at once.
Yeah,
I saw your video that you did that with, man. I'm telling you what, every video you come out with, your production value is just getting a little bit better and a little bit better. You're getting better and better, and I could see your progression, and it's awesome.
I've got like 150 to 200 videos out. I've been doing it forever, but yeah, for a long time they look really cheesy.
Your production value is getting better, I think.
Well, that's because I switched to DaVinci Resolve, and they got more bells and whistles. I'm learning how to use more things.
So that's really awesome. So I got to say, good job on that, man. It's getting better. It's getting.
And I love the only Canon printer, Canon camera I have is modified, so I can't use it for normal photography, and it's killing me because I'd love to try and do some of the resin lapses because as I said, I have a new resin coming in. Hopefully, it'll turn up. But I'd like to do some resin lapses with that, and my Canon is modified, so because it's modified, it allows infrared to show up on it, and ultraviolet shows up on it.
Yeah, Marcus, I don't know if I get any action. I always post them on my Facebook group, my page, and on Twitter, and then people would click on the link and they go to YouTube if they want to watch them. I don't know. But I get a lot of times with people, I'll post a video, and then in the comments, they start asking me questions about, did I do this and that in the video? It's like, dude, go watch the video. Now, why should I tell you everything in a comment, what's going on, if you simply just go and watch it? So I don't know. I assume it helps.
I'm an Adobe junkie. I do Adobe everything Adobe, and I love Adobe, and all hail and praise the Adobe.
Yeah.
No.
Jerry, there's a question there for you.
Yeah,
I mean, there's other software out there that are really great and everything else. I went to school. I took Adobe, and I love how it all intertwines. I love all the new features that they got a full feature now. It's just a button sky replacement. New sky, it's got a big batch of skies right there built right into it. So you can just pick what sky you want, and it's just I love it.
DaVinci Resolve and Adobe are the top two on the planet, and a lot of companies around the world, movie studios, television production companies use DaVinci Resolve. There's a paid version and a free version. That's what Tripod was using. He was telling me about.
They use a multitude of different software because I mean I know a lot of studios that use Adobe. I mean it's just the one that mass affects everything with Illustrator, Premiere Pro, SpeedGrade, and everything, and it's all encompassing in one.
The reason I say that is I go to look for different plugins for different programs.
Yeah,
made for either Adobe or DaVinci Resolve.
Now, see, I follow a lot of the Film Riot, the do-it-yourself at home, directors and stuff and editing, and they got a lot of like different packs you can put in with After Effects and everything else that you can like plug into it, gunshots, all the special effects, and it's just these packs you just upload right into it, and I love having those. I haven't used any of it in any time, but it is coming. But yeah, I'm still working on. I'm just recording everything, just making resin lapses like crazy. I'm doing this whole entire Star Wars Star Wars can cozy collection. So I just got the
pain in my ass.
That's good.
right there's my Darth Maul that I just got done doing. It's a can cozy, so you can stick your 40 ounce in there, and it's got things you can put in for different size cans. I mean, you're gonna want to use a straw because you're gonna get stabbed in the face with the spikes, but it still looks kind of cool though. I mean,
Well, don't get drunk and hold that. You'll get
yeah, I
a
know.
little-
I know. My wife's like, "That's
drop
my
it.
favorite." And I'm like, "No." And then I just finished this piece right here. This is my headphone stand.
Yeah, see,
Right there.
it looks good.
Yeah, it's my Batman head. I saw it on someone posted. It's like, "Hey, look what I made." And I'm just like, "Where was that?" And within 15 minutes, my printer was running. I'm like, "I am making that."
You do prime everything first, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, sorry guys.
I never prime the bottom of a model, but I prime everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then I've also got my hand also that I made too. My little watch stand right there.
That's nice.
Yeah, like thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it because I mean, this is a really, really big watch. Like people compliment me on how big that watch is, and so I just wanted
Liam has a
to
hand
put that
behind
on
him,
there.
too.
Can we see it with the headphones on? Yeah,
You
yeah.
and Liam both did 2 good hand jobs.
Giggity. Here we go.
Oh,
I like it.
There you go.
What it was a good job.
There you go, Marcus.
well, that looks good. That's a good stand.
So I love it too. I mean, every night I've been putting them on there. It leaves just enough room on the bottom for where I plug my headphones in.
Nice.
Because I wear these things all day and all night.
Do you have a scanner, Chewy?
Yes and no. I have my phone, which is I got 2 Note 10s that have the scanners on them.
You should scan You should have your wife scan your head, print it, and use that for a headphone stand.
I try to avoid looking in the mirror as much as possible. So having a statue of my own ugly mug on my desk that I got to look at and remind myself what I really look like, and yeah, I'm good.
White elephant gift.
Do you use the Marcus's app?
I don't have an iPhone. I don't have the iPhone. My daughter, she don't live with us, and like I just keep forgetting. I have the code, and she has the brand new iPhone. I just
code's timeout.
I know. Well, no, she lives with her boyfriend, and we see her, but when I see her, I don't think about it. I need to.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, but the codes do time out. So if you got a code, it could a while back it could have timed out. I'm not sure how long it lasts. Marcus could tell us. I think it's 30 days.
Oh, then it probably timed out. Because I do want to get a good scan of my head for making masks and stuff like that, and have something to model off of. But I just haven't done it. Have you guys? Anybody jumping on that sale at 8:00 in the morning for the Mega 8K?
No.
There's
not going to be any better than what I already own. I don't have the money.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's normally going to be like $1,600, but it's going for $1,000, but only 50 people. Only 50 people going to get it. It's going to be gone in seconds.
Yeah, it's not good.
The question I have is, am I going to wake up an hour early to even attempt to buy one?
And they're only going to have like 5.
There's 50 people, but then you can also buy the 2-pack for $2,000, and you'll get 2 of them. But they only got 100 of those, which means, yeah.
I already contacted them about reviewing it, but yeah, I knew what the answer was there.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
I've found something. I've learned something interesting. No matter how big or small the companies are, they all think they're Crealities because they all have the requirements like Creality does. And even now, in saying that, I had a conversation with a company about doing possible reviews for them. They're a smaller company, and they asked about my channel, which they normally do, and I sent them the channel details. And I said, but I also post my videos, well, links to the video on different groups, which we all do, right? And I said, and here's a list of here's the groups and the number of users in those groups. Some of those groups had multiple thousands of members, tens of thousands of members, right? They still said it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I have over 5,000 on Facebook, and they say, nope, you don't have enough interaction on your group. So, okay, whatever.
I know, but I have one group was 65,000 members, and they said it wasn't enough. So I don't know where they get their numbers from. I don't know what it is, but I think it
depends who the person is. It doesn't always have to be numbers.
I agree.
If you're the right personality, that sometimes does it too.
Well, we all know I don't have any, so
yeah, you're a great guy.
So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I have companies that I deal with, and I'm happy with the guys I deal with, and I do well there, so I'm okay. I don't have something every week to unbox. I'm not a Joe Telly who has a new box every single week. Right? And I don't know if I ever want to go to be like that, because
there's a lot of printers I wouldn't review even if they wanted to send them to me. It depends what they are. I have to want it and be interested in the printer to use it myself. Otherwise, I don't want to review it.
Exactly.
Well, it depends. I don't like. I'm
not going to get it.
Well, I'm not a big resin user, but I'll do some resins because I'm working on. I have one I'm working on, and I have. But I'll do it because I'm.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, but I don't. I would like if I don't want the machine afterward, I'll find someone to give it to, right? And that's fair enough, and that's the whole point of it, right? Like FDMs, schools love them, libraries would love them. So yeah, that's who'd get it, right? But to me, anything less than the 300 by 300 bed is not going to get much use by me.
Yeah.
So if it like that's my minimum. I have two printers that are smaller.
That's why I'm keeping all my big printers. I'm going to sell all the other ones this month, or not this month, but yeah, come in a couple of days with June, a couple of days. So
I'm loving my Saturn. Honestly, I think the Saturn's awesome.
Yeah, but we're talking about FDM beds as well. Like if it's less than 300 by 300, I have no real use for it. Right? I have two smaller printers that I do use a little. I don't use them very often, but I use them often enough because I don't need to heat a big bed to do something really small. But besides that,
I'm getting the Prusa Mini to do videos on. I want to be a member of the Prusa Club, even though it's not their $800 one. What's it called? The MK something? But
what's that? Are you showing up, Shane?
So this is kind of what I end up having to do when I can't print on a big printer. Is I have to like break them into parts and print them in multiple parts, and
yeah, that's
I can get that.
But like you're not a Prusa. You're not like you. I know Jerry is joining the Prusa Club. Are you in the Prusa Club?
No.
Who is there anybody here in the Prusa Club?
No.
No? Okay. Neither am I.
I don't know. It's creepy having a printer that bred itself, because that's all they do is make printers from 3D printers. That's Skynet kind of crap, you know.
But others do that too. Like
I know.
Print their own parts.
I know. It's just still creepy as much as their parts are 3D.
Rat Rig print their own parts. A lot of them are doing that. A lot of them are printing their own parts.
I mean, it's smart, but it's just kind of creepy Skynet stuff, man.
Do you see anything on the horizon?
That printer right there printed its own parts.
See? One of these nights, it's going to come out and choke you in your sleep.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not. It's not about the brand; it's about its functionality. And like, I don't see a point in paying twice what I will anywhere else for a machine that does the same thing.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Core XYs.
I don't have any Core XY. I like the purpose of it. I don't have one though.
But you will.
I will at some point.
Yeah, I'm ready to get rid of my Core XY because everybody.
Good night, Matt and Loopy.
Good night.
Night, Matt and Loopy.
But yeah, I don't have a Core XY. I do like the idea of them. I just haven't got around to it. If I ever get my finger out and build my own big printer, I'll go Core XY. But other than that, like I was looking at maybe a rat rig or a Voron or something like that.
I would go over a Voron. I know the Voron's all popular, but looking at it, the rat rig is a much better printer.
I like the idea of the rat rig, and they've fully open sourced everything, so you can print it all yourself. And they use PETG when they do their prints.
It is mounted. Now I got to hook up the water.
Giggity.
Uh-oh.
No,
Justin's
that's
here.
because Justin's a Voron guy. He built a Voron.
I can't do the Vorons. They're too culty.
Do you say culty?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want to make sure I heard it right.
Yeah, tripod. You need to do a review on the Chameleon that you won. I want to see how that's all set up and works.
Yes. Yeah. You run that on my stream about what 4 or 5 months ago.
I wish I would have won it. I'd already done a couple videos on it and hooked it up, but I didn't. So.
Petzo. Hey, Dave.
Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
Mr. Dave?
Hi guys.
Davey!
What's up, Dave?
Yeah.
It's water cooled.
What is water cooled?
Llama's brain.
No, Llama's brain is cooled, and that's the problem. It's sweating and hot under this hat. And it be cooled. And now I got to find somebody that can CNC this out for me so it'll fit on my CNC. Oh, wait, I can do it myself, can't I?
You can, but you have to put the old head back on first.
Or just sit there with the vacuum cleaner as it's going along.
Yeah.
Dude, I did that the first couple of cuts.
Before you put the shoe on it.
Because when they first sent this, you can't really, well, actually, you can see it. It actually hits the cage on the DeWalt. Because I don't set it straight out. I set it a slight cock. So I can, see in there, So you can, look down on it. You're not, trying to look around the hose. Well, as you raise and lower it, it actually rubs on the carriage.
Oh.
It has to be perfectly straight out the way this arc is cut. Because it's not a perfect round. It's flat or middle thing.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing this wicked clicking and the motor's groaning and the thing's popping. I'm like, what the hell is that noise? Freaking out, and it's just this stupid thing hitting the freaking frame.
Look what Jerry's working on.
Yeah, Dave, came out real good. I had a few boogers. I had a few boogers on it on the inside on each one of these. It was just like a little tiny dot of PLA, like it didn't cool down well enough. And
I saw that.
I took a razor knife and I just went down each one of these and it clipped off real easy. I guess that was from cooling.
Maybe.
So, but it printed really nice. Came out good. It had had very little stringing on it.
I just love the color combination.
Yeah. Well, it's going to get primed to paint it, but yeah, that's what I had.
That was going to be my next question, was if you was going to paint it or not, because that is kind of cool, though.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a full-size R2-D2 someday when I get the whole thing done, but this is the actual size of a real R2-D2.
Yeah,
so
what's it weigh?
Kenny Baker was pretty small.
Yeah, it's about 2 spools of filament, right?
Yeah, a little under 2 spools. I put the weight online. I'd uploaded the video to my hard drive, and it's like, wait a minute, I can go weigh that. So rather than guesstimating by showing in the video what it weighed, I went and put on my printer for weighing mail, and I weighed it. It was a little under 2 spools. It was like 1 3/4 spools, 1.5 spools.
Llama, Justin is actually acting like loyal, saying why is Llama not muted?
Justin, stroke it, bitch.
Be nice. Come on now. Be nice.
Hey, he's the one that starts it. I always finish it.
Yeah.
He always starts it.
Yeah, he does. But
new job, and he's like, "Go screw you, delete."
yeah, he's got his new job. How's your new job going now, Justin? Now that you're there a week or two.
Look at this high-tech water pump they give you. Isn't that a freaking beauty?
That's
almost as
for
good
your
as
aquarium.
K40.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly
It's a lot bigger than the one I got for my K40 laser. I got a little tiny thing of a K40 laser, like for a fish tank, real little.
Yeah, that's all I use. It looks great.
And then I put a hose clamp on one of the fittings in a bucket of water. Now it's getting rusty, so I need to take it out of there.
From what I understand, it's just like one of those
You can cut it down.
water fountain pumps.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go, Jerry.
Yeah.
Make Shane big.
Good. 1 second, Shane. 1 second. There we go.
Cool.
Did you have a CR30 or did you just slice up the part and print it?
This is one that I designed. It's from it's a big Goron sword from. I dropped it. It's a big Goron sword from Ocarina of Time.
Do you have a metal rod from the handle going all the way to the tip?
Yep.
Okay, I was going to say if you don't, the handle will probably snap off.
Yeah, it's, if I didn't do that, this handle would snap off. That thing's a heavy.
You go, and they go. Break.
Yeah. Okay, you can.
Oh wait, now he said Viking said it's not big enough.
Oh, the handle's not long
That's
enough.
what she said.
On that.
Are you? Kate wants to know: are you compensating for something?
Oh, maybe.
Oh
Give
man,
you like a full roll.
He's a hit with the ladies at Comic-Con with that thing.
What, Tom? We can't hear you.
I said they gave me a full roll with this Teflon tape.
Oh,
I
cool.
thought it would be like a baby roll. It's actually a full roll. It just doesn't have the outer clip on it.
Wow.
And I can't find the end of it. There it is.
I hate packing tape when it comes out of the gun and it rewraps itself. It's like son of a bitch. You can't find where to start it. You run your fingernails around it, trying to figure out where the roll started at. I hate that.
I
always do this backwards too.
If you heat it with a hairdryer, the end that's not attached to something will curl.
Huh?
Not that you have a hairdryer, Jerry, but your wife may have one.
Yeah, we have a hairdryer, but if I heat up a roll of tape, I can't imagine if it stuck to itself, it would uncurl.
No, because the glue will soften and the plastic will actually curl from the heat.
Okay.
So it actually does work because plastic will actually crunch up, as you know, when you heat it.
Yeah.
And the heat of the hairdryer will actually loosen will soften the glue, so it will release from itself easily.
You know, if you take your thumbnail and just turn it,
well,
you can always find it.
Sometimes you find it.
It's still hard to find it. Yeah. And then when you do find it and you start it, then it rips off a sliver. It's like, well, you got to keep ripping at it to finally get it. Yeah.
I feel sorry for all your wives.
Why?
Never mind.
Never mind. Never mind.
Oh. Hey, Jesse. How are you? Elegoo Satter's back in stock, 13 left. But you got yours already, didn't you, Marcus? I thought he got his printer already, didn't he, Jerry?
Is that a resin printer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an awesome resin printer. I love it.
Really? What's the build volume on it?
You know, I have no clue. It's mid-size.
Mid-size resin printer.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
I have
size for everybody is a mid-size resin printer.
Yeah.
They're releasing a new 8K tomorrow and a cubic car.
Yeah. It's an 8K and it's like the size of the Pio Poly. It's just a hair smaller than the Pio Poly Phenom L. So it's like big printer. It's like 15 inches is 15 inches wide, and then it goes up to like 400 millimeters. And it's 8K screen monochrome.
Next week, I'll be reviewing Anycubic's wash and cure station. It hit Amazon, so I'll be ordering one probably Friday, and the next week I'll do a video on it.
Did you see Creality released a brand new wash and cure station with a large volume designed for the big resin printers now?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Yeah, they just released it. I saw it. They have it available right now at I think it's $119 for the wash and cure.
I got two mid-sized resin printers. My Frozen Mighty 4K and then the Anycubic Photon Mono X. The Anycubic is slightly smaller than the Frozen, but sitting side by side, the Anycubic is my go-to resin printer. If I automatically just want to start printing something, I'm going to go toward that one before I'll go to the other one. Why? I can't really explain it, but I just do.
I like the Saturn. My Saturn is now my go-to. I mean, I got my Pio Poly Phenoms, but my Saturn, I mean, it's fast. I mean, it is really fast.
What are you doing? You're only doing what, 3 or 4 seconds a layer?
2.3. 2.3.
Depending on a resin printer, yeah, it's like 1.5 to 3, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you're having a lot of trouble and you're losing supports, and you kick it up to like 5, add more supports. You know, it depends on the resin.
I haven't had a failed print. I really haven't.
Well,
I've had nothing stick. I've had nothing.
Ceratec works great. I love it. But
does.
you start trying a lot of different resins, and all of a sudden this don't work and that don't work, and this failed, and it's like you know. And
Ceratec works for me.
Yeah.
I've never had any bonding issues or anything. It works great, and I don't go anywhere else. Yeah, Rain-X and Ceratec.
But like I say, when I do a review and somebody sends me a different resin and I throw it in there with the settings that work perfect with Ceratec, and I get failures, like son of a, you know, and then I got to change my exposure time, add more support, change my angle. Then eventually I get it. But with Ceratec, it just works.
And it's funny because Elegoo already goes through a whole testing process with all the different resins. And they actually have an amazing resin profile system on their printers that you pick what resin you have. And they've already got the optimal settings already, bam, right there for you. And it's never failed ever. And any time I've used it. So
I used to use Elegoo, and then their prices at some point went up. And then I tried Ceratec, and I just never went back.
Yeah.
Zolan, hold on a second. I can only add 6 people. I'll try to add you, but I don't think I can.
Hey, Zolan.
We'll
drop off. I got stuff I need to get done.
Okay, Jerry.
So Zolan can drop in.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Jerry. Have a
Later,
good one.
Jerry.
Right, bye.
Bye.
So all of the manufacturers of the printers actually make they all make their own resin as well.
In a lot of cases, yes, they do.
Yeah, I mean, generally, if they're making printers, they're making resin, or they got a company that they brand their resin with. But then you've also got other companies out there that don't make printers and they just make resin,
like Ceratec.
Yeah.
Used to do resins and FD and filament, and they don't do printers. That's all they do is they, and even like IC3D do filament. They don't do resins. They do filament, and they don't do they're now doing industrial size printers. They don't do home printers.
Yeah.
Like
Creality doesn't do resin, and they sell resin printers.
Sorry?
Creality doesn't sell resin, but they sell resin printers.
That's true. They are the opposite. They don't sell resin, but they do printers.
But don't they work with isn't there a resin company they paired up? It's just like Pio Poly was going to make their own resin, but now they went with
statement
Ceratec.
is if they make printers, they also make resin. And
yeah, usually
an example where it's not true.
Well, there's always an exception to the rule, isn't there?
Exactly.
Always is never, ever, always.
Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, but I was saying they released a new one right now. The new wash and cure is designed for the big printers, because the old wash and cure was too small for the large build volume of the new 4Ks. So it's at 119 right now is what it's available for. And it's only for a short amount of time. It's going to go up. It's going to go to about 150, 160. I'm guessing.
Honestly, I have no need for any of those. Like when I got my PO polys, I just went ahead and dumped the money into a 30-liter ultrasonic cleaner because I like the process of it. And then I just took a cabinet and lined it with Mylar and put LEDs in it. Damn, I'm done. And it's big. It holds all my big prints. My 30-liter, I can dunk pretty much anything in it.
Yeah.
So any print that I've ever had, I've only had one that did not fit, and that was my this ship right here. This is from a video game that I play called Star Citizen.
Oh, you're one of them.
Yes, I am, and I love it.
Let me bring it up.
I'm an Elite Dangerous person.
Well, we stole your best YouTuber, didn't we? Ha!
No, because one thing I
Cobra.
can say about Elite Dangerous is their community sucks.
Star Citizen is amazing. We stole him the day that he came out. We stole him and we welcomed him, and he never looked back. You know what I'm talking about, Cobra.
Yeah, but at least I'm playing a game that's officially released.
Yeah, well, at least I got a game that's hey, at least I'm playing a game that is breaking grounds and new technologies that other games wishes they had. Come on, they invented face over IP.
They invented what?
They're the ones that started. They were the first game that had face over IP.
I still didn't catch the word.
Face over IP. It's where they line they put dots around your eye with your web camera, and your character's mouth and face movements match your
So
face.
I mean, kind of like what I'm doing right now with the
Yeah,
cartoon
more
here.
like that. It was the first one to implement it into a game.
Yeah. So Zolan, what have you been up to?
Trying to distract myself.
I gotta get back to work on my website. Y'all take care.
Take care,
Good
Joey.
luck.
Cool. Take care.
Later, man. Bye.
Right.
So
So
what's his
I know
website?
you lost your one.
Yeah, let's not. We can move on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But
I'm currently trying to print cases for my LoRa Mesh Network nodes.
okay.
I got a coworker who's an amateur radio op as well, and we're going to try to see if we can get a LoRa Mesh Network to work from my house all the way to work, which is 71 miles.
Oh, there you go. That's going to happen.
I don't see why not. I've already hit 3.2 miles. Sorry, 3.6 miles with just 2 nodes.
You going to do the Pringles can antenna?
No.
Yankees.
443. It's 433 megahertz in the amateur radio band, running at 1 watt.
Mm-hmm.
Just put an aerial up on top of the house and done.
Cool.
All right.
Time to break it, Llama.
So is this where we expect the big white flash and then Llama's going to disappear?
Magic smoke.
There's water and electricity involved, so this could be. This is when it happens.
This will be entertaining, is what you're looking for, Dave.
Llama, if I see you lock up, I'm gonna try to hit you with the 2x4 from here.
See, it runs.
Oh God, that's an obnoxious noise.
It's a CNC. They are noisy.
The animals 3 counties over are now making their noises.
That's in the frequency of my hearing loss, so I don't even hear it.
I have 3 dogs here who are looking at me now because I have the headphones on.
But the Well, I have a 3018. If you think that's bad, the 3018 is just as noisy, and it's a desktop.
It's not it's the pitch.
I know.
It was
that
pitch it hit.
I didn't even hear it. Swear.
Really?
I swear. Yeah.
No.
I have upper range hearing loss, and it's so bizarre. Like our surveillance system at the restaurant, when you walk in the front door, it goes off. I don't hear it. I go in and I reset the surveillance. I don't remember who, Tyco, and I have to put my head right up to it to hear even a buzz. And when a UPS starts going bad and you get that really high pitched scream coming from it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a UPS in our main kitchen, and I hooked it up and I didn't hear anything. And people were coming through the kitchen like, they're holding their hands over their ears. And it's like, what do you mean? And so I'm troubleshooting and trying to figure out what it is. And of course, the UPS was something that I put in the latest. So that was the first thing I checked. And I'm like checking it out and I don't hear it at all. And then I unplugged it and it's like, that's it. The guys are all saying, oh yeah, now. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I could have brought this UPS home, plugged it in, never had a problem with it, except for that high frequency pitch that would have probably blown my dog, sent her off the edge, probably my wife off the edge, anybody that came by the house, and I just can't hear it. And it's real interesting because there's, you can go on YouTube and you can get the frequency ranges. And so you just listen to it, and at a certain pitch, it's just gone. I mean, I don't even hear it. I mean,
my wife's the same way. There's certain frequencies she can't hear at all. And the
Yeah,
problem
I mean-
is I can hear more frequencies than most people.
And I still hear the lower ranges really well, which are typically,
But you
those
lose
get
the
lost, and it's the higher. I don't remember if it's like 500 hertz but it's
My laptop, my new laptop at work that they just issued me, makes a really, really extremely high-pitched whine/squeal noise, and apparently I'm the only person in the whole office who can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's my hearing is good, but it's my sense of smell.
That's even worse.
I will, like nobody else will smell stuff. I will smell stuff that nobody else in the house will smell.
I can name the flavor of hard candy somebody's eating from across the building.
Yeah, my sense of smell is like that.
And worse yet, I can imagine smells as well, to the point that I will make myself barf.
Oh,
wow.
Well, I've never done that, but I've got a really, really keen sense of smell. And taste. I can in a lot of not all the time, but in a lot of cases, common ingredients I can taste in a dish when I'm eating it. I can tell what the dish is made out of. I can pick up the flavors. Even really spicy dishes, which actually attacks your taste buds because of the spice, I can tell what's in it. It's kind of interesting.
My wife is a super taster.
Yeah.
And that's a really good thing to have when you're at a restaurant.
When
you own a restaurant, because you can, and my chef's really good. And I don't know if you just get accustomed to some of the tastes but I can taste it as well. But some of the things are like salt, I can tell where you can tell when there's too much salt. And that's typically, something that's not really picked up.
Really?
Oh
I've
no,
been finding everything is too salty.
Yeah. I like what's the name of it? I can't remember the name. There's a chain in nearby that we went to a few times, and everybody else sitting at the table likes the meal. I've stopped going there because everything is too salty for me, and that they make everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like around here, everybody puts dill in everything.
Oh
and it's
God.
Like, dill is okay in a very small amount, but all the restaurants have been putting it so long they can't taste it themselves anymore, really. So
when there's so much dill, you can pick it out of your teeth.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Like,
or ranch. Put ranch on everything. Yuck.
Cilantro.
I don't mind ranch.
Oh no, I can't
do cilantro.
I have both genetic markers. I cannot do it.
Yeah. We have a place here that basically gives you a burrito and it has a salad in the middle of it.
Oh
no.
Jesus. No, I can't. Yeah.
No, thank you.
No.
Nope.
I gotta go inside.
No, I don't like. I'm fine with the various veggies and stuff like that. But if you overdo it, like my view is with a meal, if you can't hunt it and kill it, you don't eat it. Right? That means there has to be meat in there. Now, and I have friends who are vegetarian and so on, and like that's fine. But I need to have meat in my meals.
Have you ever had anise?
Yeah, black licorice. Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I love black licorice.
So my wife is Italian, and
I'm sorry.
Her mom and dad made these cookies that were, oh my God, I think they're called wachadatis or something like that. But they're a flat cookie, kind of like a sugar cookie in texture, but tons of anise. So it just has this.
Star anise is nice. I like star anise.
Yeah, and I don't like black licorice, but
no, I do.
I love that.
Italian Ansettes. ANISETTE. That's the anise cookie.
I like the
My wife likes them. I can't stand them.
I not in cookies, but I like the Australian.
Pizzelles. Yep, Pizzelle. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Oh,
Pizzelle.
Pizzelles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
like the when you we do a dish here with star anise and with the shiitake mushrooms, and the nice thing about the mushrooms is they absorb all of the star anise flavor. I mean, mushrooms are sponges for flavor. So if you whatever you put a good mushroom into, not the white button mushrooms, but good shiitake mushrooms, whatever, they'll absorb the flavor from the dish. So when you eat those, you get a real blast of the flavor. And I love licorice. Like I like the Australian licorice because it's really soft and it's chewy. It's nice. Some of the other licorices are not as good, but the Australian licorice is really good.
The Pizzelles, they have it's like a waffle maker, and the machine that you make those. So you mix it up, kind of in a batter, and pour it in, and then you close it down, and it makes this real thin, waffly cookie. And it's it's some good stuff, man. That is some good
Who do
stuff.
we just lose? Oh, where did he go?
Uh-oh. Hopefully we didn't offend him.
No, I think he hit the wrong button, maybe. Because we also lost Llama.
Yeah, Llama said he was going inside and might have dropped connection there.
Yeah, I think he was already in his room by the time, but the connection dropped down.
Oh, that's
Maybe-
right. He
maybe
was
he'll
out in
come
the
back.
garage, wasn't he?
Yeah, if you're listening, guys, come back in. We're going to be around for another half an hour or so, maybe 40 minutes. So please come back in. And it goes for anybody else. If these guys don't come back, I can have 6 people on the stream with me. So if anybody else wants to jump in and chat, feel free to do so. It's open. So, what are you working on, Dave?
I actually just I've been working on this new direct drive system for my blockhead and the bullseye, and everybody's been wanting this, and I haven't really wanted to make it, but I decided that this is kind of going to be the swan song, because I've got so much going on with the restaurant that I'm going to open all my work up to open. I'm going to take away some of the restrictions on it, let people work with it. But I got this new direct drive system, and you can see it. You can see it on Thingiverse. You can also see it on my YouTube page, and so I'm using it. It's the system you saw when I was printing up those 2A parts.
Welcome back.
Those 2A parts that I was printing on my Ender 3.
Yeah.
Zolan.
Yep.
The best carry gun on the planet now.
Control Pew design.
This is the MP Plus Performance Center.
Okay.
With the fiber optic sights, vented barrel, and it comes with a red dot sight. And if you get on the web and start looking up
What's the name again?
The Smith & Wesson MP9 Plus Performance Center, but it's the MP9 Shield Plus. The Shield Plus. And there's probably not a reviewer yet that isn't putting that as their top gun of 2021. And I went out and shot it, and it's friggin' unbelievable. I can't almost no recoil.
That grip looks way too small for my hand.
The what?
The grip looks too small for my hand.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot tall, and I've got big hands, and you can see.
Yeah, but you added a pinky extender onto your.
Well,
actually the mag it comes with has it. I'm looking at it.
The mag that comes with it is a 13 round.
Okay.
And
So
it
the
has,
problem is I currently carry an XDM 3.8 full frame with the extended back strap on it, and it's still a little small for my hand.
really.
I'm 6'6", but I'm actually 6'9".
Okay, you got to explain that.
I have an XDM, a Pro 5 1/4
Mhm.
that I used to shoot USPSA with.
Nice.
It's got a PWP trigger on it, and it's one of my favorite guns. But I couldn't carry it.
Mine's a stock 3.8 XDM 40 Smith & Wesson double stack.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know that gun well. Yeah.
it's the most comfortable pistol I've ever fired. I really want a range officer. The Smith & Wesson range officer. That's a really nice pistol. But I don't have the money right now.
I got too many guns, so
I'll take some.
yeah.
I can go out my door and use them. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I get a range about a mile away from me. And
nice.
it's pretty fun. And then I reload too. So, I can go out and shoot 100 and it doesn't cost a lot for me still.
Yeah. Buddies and I want to go trap shooting and wait for ammunition to come back so we can actually go do that.
Yep.
Yeah. Even shotgun ammo was short supply. Yeah, it's crazy.
All I can find are turkey loads and slugs. And they're like $30 for like 5 rounds.
Hey, could be worse. You could be needing to do construction.
Yeah.
You saw Repcord's post of the piece of plywood for $68.
I know. I was going to do shelving and for my printers, to mount my printers, and to sort them out, to do a bit of organization. And plywood was $60 a sheet for 8x4.
Yep.
And I went.
And that was for AC. I mean, that's not, it's not a finished plywood.
It's not top grade, no. And that's only half inch. It's not even 3/4.
I can buy galvanized corrugated metal sheets cheaper than I can buy plywood. I can buy particle board. I can buy particle board's more expensive.
MDF is cheaper. MDF board is cheaper than plywood.
But not cheaper than particle board.
No.
And particle board is still more expensive than galvanized corrugated steel sheeting.
It's gotten crazy. So I've decided just to go buy shelving. I'm going to buy metal shelves instead. They're not the right width. They're a little narrow in the width. They're 24 inches. Some of my printers will extend beyond that, but it's okay to hang over the edges. I don't mind it a little bit because the whole frame will be actually resting on the shelf, so it's good. But yeah, I'm going to do that instead because there's no way I'm paying $60 a sheet.
Yeah, I want to put a wall back there, and the steel studs are cheaper. It's like $5.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. Yeah.
It's
a wood
2x4
is $6.
No, it's 12.
12 in some areas.
Yeah, 12 here.
Yeah.
That's at the lumber mill just north of here.
What's scary now is Shane's little Dance Dance Revolution pad he built is now more expensive than the whole game system.
Mm-hmm.
Because he used sheets of plywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 8 lengths of 4x2 in my garage. I'm a rich man. One board from these pallets go to the Hartford store.
Yeah, I went to Lowe's and Home Depot not long ago because we're looking at building a chicken coop, and it's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I did. I was at Lowe's and I started walking around, and I don't really have any big projects going on, but I just was curious, and I just couldn't believe it. There's not very many guys. I have a lot of friends that are still in the construction business, building houses. These guys are holding off big time right now.
Yeah. And it depends on the state you're in as well. Some states have a surplus. Other states, you can't buy. So some states,
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
some states are actually really cheap. The lumber is not expensive at all. But what they said is the in some areas, because people are working from home, they decided to start doing more home projects, so they're consuming the supply.
Yeah.
Lamb has been grounded. He's at home.
Well, it's also down to some of these lumber mills just not operating.
Yep.
Yeah, because of COVID as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because the one that's north of me, like they've been like, you'd think with all the shortage they would be going, and like, my state's been pretty good with the COVID and stuff, and they're like the last time I went up there, they were closed at like 3:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. It was kind of weird.
I haven't seen that here, but there is a supply problem because there's no way I'm paying that amount of money. So I'm not going with custom build my own stuff, and this time around I'm just going to buy shelving. I'm going to get them probably the end of next week. I'm probably going to order them.
There's no supply problem. There's a mill problem. There's
Which
plenty of
creates
lumber.
supply problem.
There's nobody milling it.
That's the supply problem because otherwise yeah.
When you say supply, I think there's plenty of trees. There's just nobody cutting them.
Well, there's enough cut because a lot of the rail yards around here, they're just packed full of trees. There's a unused rail north of here,
but they're not getting milled.
Yeah,
they're not being made into sheet goods.
Yeah.
And the other thing people don't realize is because the trees cut, it's like 6 months to a year before it becomes lumber.
Maybe even longer. Depending on how
they
dry.
can, they
can kill dry it in like 6
They can kill dry it now.
Yeah,
it's not. Your 2x4s are. Your pine is.
Yeah.
Most of your finished products, your plywoods and stuff aren't though.
Yeah,
they're dried before they're kill dried.
But a lot of the plywood comes from overseas anymore.
Actually, no. Most of our pine plywood comes from right here in the U.S.
Well, from Washington State and the northeast, the northwest, but
and Virginia. A lot of ours comes from Virginia and South Carolina, and
last time I saw
your rough cut pine stuff. Your
seeding. Right.
Last time I saw plywood for a reasonable price, it came from South America. It was imported.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And then it just started going up. It was insane.
Yeah, but even now, even then, though, again, down there they're shut down as well because of the same reasons they are here.
Yeah.
So
they got to be coming back. My brother's a big watching the stocks and stuff. He's all into it, and he's been watching the lumber stocks. Mm-hmm. And he says the prices are dropping rapidly in like the last 2 weeks since all the states are open back up. So he's like anything, it's usually, the stock drops and then production happens. And then, 2 or 3 months later, everything's back to normal because it takes that long.
So come mid to the end of summer,
the chain of command to go through.
Yeah. By mid to end of
summer, you'll start seeing everything stabilizing again.
Yeah.
I swear some of it was a ploy so they could just jack the prices up because I guarantee the prices will still be, a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there, more than they were before, even when they come back down. Just like the gas, they always gouge us in the summer.
Yeah, well, I don't know if a lot of the prices are going to come down.
They'll come down. They may not be the same, but they'll be close enough to it to be more reasonable than what they are today.
Yeah, they have to because no one will buy it, and they'll kill themselves because they won't be able to sell any because nobody's buying. There's actually materials in Home Depots and Lowe's. They're stocked because nobody's buying the shit. It's too expensive.
Yeah. I still see people buying it, but it's not like you won't buy. Like you would always
builders under contract already.
People even home people.
Their house is rotting away.
Yeah, but it's not only that though. But people would like in the past. People would go and they'd buy more than what they need, and they'd always have some spare left over. Now they're not. Now they're buying what they need, or they're tailoring their project so they have less wastage.
It'll come down. It's just ridiculous.
Well,
$10 for
my
a freaking
dad-
2x4 is insane.
Well, and
Nobody
the other
can
problem
afford
is
to build a house
this
for
is
that.
this is hurting my dad's business because he does custom office furniture, and they can't get any contracts now because their prices had to be, doubled if not tripled,
Yep.
and they were already expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Everybody, it's got to come down. I mean, they'll only hurt themselves by not bringing it back down to a reasonable rate. But it will
no, they're
stay
not.
higher than it was before.
Yeah, they're going to do the same thing they do to gas. It's going to go through the roof, and then they're going to lower it down a bit, and everybody will be happy that they're paying $2 to $3 more than they used to. But
it's still $5 less than what it was a month ago. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jerry, I agree with that statement.
It's what they do. It's a game.
I agree with your statement there, Jerry, about them not covering the cost of shipping for the AK, because those machines are heavy, and the cost of shipping that internationally is going to be very high. And people will not, like, it's going to cost them $100 or more or so to ship it.
Yeah, the other problem is a lot of people who stayed home during the COVID, they started building, and that brought the price up as well.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of supply of material. There's plenty of trees.
Yeah.
There isn't enough mills. All the mom and pop style mills have shut down because of COVID. So there's only the 3 or 4 big name, Weyerhaeuser, the big guys still producing, and they're producing
actually,
workers.
Weyerhaeuser's mills in Washington got shut down because of COVID for a while.
Yeah, right. And
that hurt them bad.
Yep. But the little guys, the mom and poppy style ones, I mean, they're not really mom and pop.
Who's making this 8K resin printer?
Shut down. They went bankrupt.
Anycubic are doing it, are releasing it tomorrow morning on Kickstarter. It's $1,000 for on Kickstarter, for the early bird, and after that it'll be $1,600 for the machine.
Wow.
They're real proud of their machine.
Yeah. Anycubic makes a good stuff though.
They do, but they do good. They do good printer. They do good resin printers, but they, like, how many people are going to pay $1.5 grand for an AK? And then if you look at it, the difference between a 4K and an AK resin screen, other than the build volume, if they give you a larger build volume, which I think they are, that's it. You will not see a resolution difference on your print.
Oh. They sell dental resin.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's what they're going to start doing, is getting in the professional market with that kind of machinery.
So $1,000 for
I need dentures, so this is awesome to me.
Yeah. Well, no, and me too. I mean, I would. I'm trying to glean all the information I can, and even from my dentist. But I would like to make parts that are, have the kind of resolution that I would afford, a nice resin printer, and I just don't see anybody, that can sample that for me yet at a reasonable. And when I say reasonable, I'm talking like maybe $2 or $3 grand for something that I can, have some pretty large, build volume on, and still have something that.
Man, why am I seeing Jerry now with like vampire teeth, and walrus teeth, or, oh look, I printed these on my printer today.
My mom used to wear dentures, and my dad used to jokingly make fun of her. He says, like on their anniversary or whatever, he'd say, her name is Mary. He said, Mary, you have teeth like the stars. You only come out at night. There's always make fun of each other, so that's the type of stuff he used to say to her. So Jerry, with your printer right now, if you get the dental resin, you can make your own, Jerry.
Yep. Except for the dental resin only works with the LCDs, not the DLP or the SLA.
Really?
That's according to Anycubic's website.
Yeah, there's something weird with that, because these printers, they kind of came from that area of printing stuff.
Optimize the formation of LCD low light source and printing efficiencies higher than the market compatible DLP LCD SLA resin. This resin is only designed for the LCD model of the resin, not recommended for DLP or SLA machines.
The other guys who do the Invisalign, they use the SLS. They use the lasers.
Yep.
For printing the Invisalign.
Invisalign is printed.
3D printed, using.
I guess that would make sense.
Yeah.
Actually, the dentures I have in my bathroom
modified all the time.
Don't fit me right anymore. Those are printed.
Yeah. So they do a scan once of your mouth, and then they have a computer. They have an application that plans the movement of your teeth to bring them back.
Yeah. My son has Invisalign.
Yeah, and each stage is actually, and when you get them printed, they print them all your stages, and it's all done in resin, but they use the lasers for printing it. They use the SLS.
It's not cheap.
No, but that's why. But they have. I saw a video of the production environment. Their production environment is row after row after row after row of these resin printers. I mean, it's like it's a huge warehouse, and all it is row after row, and each of them are printing the Invisalign, and that's their whole production.
Cool. Yeah.
I think it takes them something like for a single set, top and bottom. I think it takes them, or a single tray of them. I think they do a tray in about every 2 hours. They put out a tray of them ready to be cured. So,
and is that a dental resin?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Yeah, it's a clear dental resin. Yeah,
really.
It has to be, and it also has to be FDA approved and all these other things.
Yeah. But that's how they do it. Yeah. It's all 3D printed.
Yeah,
If you look at it under really closely with a magnifying glass or a microscope, you can just about make out the layering. But it's very, very hard to see because it's very precise the way they do it.
Well, I've only seen them on my son. So, and they look just, you can't even tell that they're there.
Yeah, and if you got that close, he'd probably sock you one.
Well, yeah.
Hey, get a little closer here. I want to look at your teeth.
Yeah, but they're all printed. They're all resin printed.
I'll be darned.
Even a dentist now, if you go to a dentist to get like when they're doing
retainers or
bridges and stuff like that,
partials,
that's all 3D printed. That's all resin printed.
Well, some of it's still done by hand, though.
They add parts.
The finished work. Afterwards. Yeah, the finished work, the dyeing of the painting of, so to say, how they do all that. That's all done by hand. But the actual base that they work from is all printed. Yep. I think there's only like 4 or 5 companies in the U.S. that still pour their dentures.
Yeah, like that's how you can go. That's how you can get them so fast nowadays, because it's all printed. It's all printed.
Yep. Not only that, they like for my father when he was all nutso in the home, they actually put his name on him because he kept losing them, so they could print his name right on him. Yeah.
They just embed it in the print before they send it to the printer.
You pop them out right along the lower gum line, and it said Richard Lamering.
You should go Google the Invisalign production. You can see they actually have videos out there on their website to show you, and it's on YouTube as well. You can actually see the production process. It's really cool to see. And what it does, the way it's done is it comes out of the printer. I think it's auto-loaded to the printer, and it comes out to the printer automatically, and it's cleaned. It's washed and everything and prepared, but everything's barcoded. The tray has a barcode, and that barcode is linked to you. And that's how it's all managed. Everything, and it's just production line. You mean like these are rows and rows and rows of these are going out, and then when they're done, they go straight out onto a production line and shoot down. It's amazing how fast it is. So yeah, you should. It's interesting to watch. They have a video. They have multiple videos out there explaining the whole process.
Yeah, I've got a Mars here, and that thing's actually pretty good for the most part. I got to fix a wire came loose somewhere
Hmm.
when I was poking around inside of it. I bumped a wire, and
Yeah, the only resin printer I have is a longer Orange 10, and the only thing I've done with it besides, one tiny successful print is make a huge mess.
I've done a couple of prints on resin. I have the Creality LD002R, which is the 2K. I have a Tronxy that they never ended up releasing because it was supposed to be Kickstarter, and they actually pulled the Kickstarter. But I have the printer here, and I have the Seed Maker, which is a new one that's coming out, a new 4K. But it arrived damaged, so I'm waiting on the replacement to be delivered.
yeah, I got a dead Anycubic over there, so that's kind of why I'm like, yeah, they don't make the greatest of things. But
Well, the Creality I've used for lots of prints. I printed that hand on Creality, and it came out really good.
Yeah, and what I should say is their support was not good.
I was going to say, weren't the Anycubics like the Pruses in their day when they first came out? I mean, they were
tried to be. They really
were stout, and you could walk away from them. They would print. They were small build volume, but you could print with them without on the FDMs. I mean,
they had some good machines,
and they were expensive as hell.
Yeah, well, Jerry swears by Anycubic. He uses his Anycubic 4K, and he swears by it. He's got the Mono X. And
this one's an older version, and
it's dinner time here. I got to go.
All right, Zolan. Thank you for joining us.
Later, Zolan.
Yep.
It's always fun.
Good seeing you.
See you, Zolan.
Yeah, the Anycubic that I have here, I had to replace the screen on it. It failed, and when I replaced the screen shortly after, I got like one print, and it started like throwing error codes after that. And I contacted their support. Hey, I'm getting this error code. Is this the main board? Is it something weird with the screen? Because it's a brand new screen, and flat out just would not help me. No.
Yeah, well,
I just don't want to deal with the resin.
Well, the thing about resins is the screens are consumables.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get, and now the reason why they went with the monos now rather than the other LCDs that they've been using up to now.
Yeah.
The LCD screens that they used to use were RGB, and because they're RGB, first of all, it took longer exposure because some of the light coming through was filtered by the pixels, because each pixel set would have an RGB and an open slot, right?
Yeah.
In a pixel set. And what happens is the red would block the UV light, the blue would allow some of it through, the green would block the UV light, and then the clear one would allow it through, right? Like a camera has RGB sensors and a clear sensor on it, right? And underneath that is actually a black and white screen in your DSLR. So the color is actually added by a matrix laid over your chip. And these are the same. But the mono screens are all clear. So they go black and clear. There's no RGB in there. And that's why they last longer, because the other ones, when they were being exposed to light, they could never be turned off, and it actually damaged them. So the old ones will get about maybe 500 to 800 hours of use before the screen will go bad. Whereas, let's say the mono screen can get between 2,000 and 4,000 hours of use, because it's been evenly exposed, and it's not only parts of it being exposed. And that's why the exposure is shorter, because all of the UV light is hitting the part. It's not being filtered out by some of the pixels.
Yeah, it also doesn't help the temperature too. Like if you slow down your on time, like your increase your off time between layers, you can get a little bit extra life. It'll increase the length of your prints, but it'll make things run slightly cooler. So you might be able to get maybe 10 more prints, 20 more prints out of it, but it's still 10 or 20 more prints.
Yeah, less exposure time means less heating, so you have it's easier to keep it cool, so you get longer life out of the LEDs as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's more of the off time. So the longer, like there's a time between each layers where you could have, I can't remember the exact setting, but it's like the off, like how long the LCD and the light stays off. So you can adjust that a little bit just to bring temperatures down.
Yeah, the screens are not super expensive, but
Yeah.
still, they are consumable though.
Yeah, I think they're like $40 for the Mars. That's what it was for the Anycubic. I got one that was kind of universal, but yeah, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, but the bigger they get,
And the screen is the size of the build volume.
yeah. Well, your build
slightly
plate is
bigger.
always, your build plate is normally a little bit smaller than your screen size, a fraction smaller, because
Okay.
you want to be able to make sure your whole build plate, which is the top part, goes onto the screen and can be exposed in totality. Yeah.
Actually, it's
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah. So that's what the Anycubic would be like.
Yeah.
So you'd have a little bit of playroom in there.
You have to have space, because if you don't, and if you put put your print plate on, which is upside down, obviously, right, and it's skewed, it would hit the vat on the way down. So they have to have some room to play around inside there as well. So yeah, but they're like I said, I had the 2K Creality and it works fine. My 4K arrived damaged, so I'm waiting on the replacement 4K.
Yeah, and the 2K like makes awesome parts. Like
Oh,
I
it
had
does.
like,
And the nice thing about resin is if you have any blemishes that you want to fix, you can get a drop of resin, put it there, expose it to a UV lamp, and then sand it smooth, and you're done. And it's easy to sand. It sands so easy, like compared to filament. Filament takes a lot of work, and if you sand too much, you'll melt it. You won't melt the resin by sanding it fast.
yeah, it's like it's a little easier than ABS if you've ever sanded ABS.
Yeah.
It's easier than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb question and off topic. How do I know what my V slot wheels need replaced? If when you can't get pressure on them anymore, so they can't engage your rails, then they need to be they're worn down too much.
If chunks are taken out too,
or if you have chunks taken out or whatever, yeah. But they do wear. But you don't ever over tighten those wheels. Like they should be touching it, but not. And you should be with a little bit of force. You should be moving with one finger. If you can't move it with one finger, it's too tight.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Everyone over tightens. That white dust powder crap. Everyone says, "Oh, that's the wearing." You got it too tight if you're getting that. I have never had that on any of my wheels, and everything I own has wheels on it.
Now,
this thing, 3 years old, never had that.
Sometimes with a brand new printer, you do get a little bit of dust on it from when you're breaking in.
If you don't clean it. Yeah, I hit it with my vacuum like a couple times a month. I just take the little brush thing and hit it with a paintbrush or anything. You just dust it now and again.
Yeah, but once you've been using it a while, and they're broken in, so you have no flat areas, whatever on them, then you're good to go, and you should never have a problem with it.
MM is cool. Yes, we are.
I am 2-3 years old on this thing and not on work on it.
Polycarbonate wheels.
Yeah, PC wheels are in there. Well, they do, but not as long. Not as fast.
Oh my God, they are so nice. I have not replaced these. I have not replaced these in 2-3 years.
Yeah.
They just don't wear.
I had a black one blow apart. It like ran over something and just literally.
Yeah,
shattered.
I've had them lose chunks.
Yeah, if they're wearing grooves, they're probably too tight.
Too tight.
But now, if there's already grooves there, it's probably too late to adjust them.
Yeah.
So what you do is, if you're going to replace them, put on the PC wheels, which are better, and the polycarbonate ones, and then get them set right. So one finger should be able to, when you're holding the gantry, you should be able to move it. And it should move it with a bit of resistance, but not. You shouldn't have to use a lot of force. If you have to use force, you're too tight.
You know, one thing I found that outside of the wheels, the bearings get really gritty. They're not very good bearings. So if you buy a really good ABEC 3 bearing, they last forever. I find that in the Chinese printers, the Chinese printers. I've found that the problem isn't so much the wheel, it's the bearing.
Sometimes they do wear down, but if you buy a good set of wheels, you can get you can do well, right? You can buy, if you buy a good set of PC wheels, they will come in a good bearing.
Or you get like the ANEX that came with the single bearing wheel instead of the dual bearing wheel.
They actually made them with single bearings.
It was a single bearing wheel.
I can't believe that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he probably has them there.
Oh, I got them because I might have thrown them out. But I don't think so.
It's in his little box of tricks that he has on his spinner.
Do I have enough filament?
Actually, I think they're.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're this one.
Yeah. So
I got them somewhere.
do you see? I don't know. You weren't on, Dave. Did you see these? The wheels for my droid.
Oh, really? Nice.
I haven't put the bearings in there yet, but that's PETG.
Nice. That's a good print.
Single bearing wheels. They're round.
I'll be
They're not even
damned.
grooved.
Wow.
That's what you off the ANEX.
Yeah, they're about as useful as a chocolate teapot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though? You know what's funny? I saved them because the actual bearings are wicked smooth. They really are.
Yeah, but the
wheel itself is
useless.
useless, but I got a mini puller. I actually used to use it on my quadcopters and stuff, so I can pull the bearing.
You have a polar printer?
A puller, a bearing puller.
Oh, a puller. So I said polar. I said you have a polar printer? I don't know anybody who's ever had a polar printer.
I kind of thought about building one because I think that would be kind of cool, but I don't really have a use for one. So
yeah,
what?
Well, a polar printer. They had a good side to them, but they were a nightmare to maintain.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bearings in these things are actually wicked smooth. Like surprisingly so. Yeah, I got a whole boatload of them off that ANEX.
Dave, do you have a link to a good?
It wasn't V groove either. It was T groove.
You know, I don't on this computer.
What site did you get them from? Like McMaster Car or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, because anything you buy from there might be.
They're 6 by 15, if I remember right. Does that sound right?
What?
5 by 16. 5 by 5 by 16. 5 16, if I remember right.
Hold on, I got wheels around here somewhere.
What, the bearings?
Yeah.
I just get the ones from Open Builds. They're really good. Really good. You get the wheel, you get the whole thing. Gets you all the spacers and the wheels and the bolts and the screws and everything you need. And they got the polycarbonates.
Yeah, so that's where you'd go, Sparky. Go to Open Builds and buy the PC wheels there if you're going to replace yours.
I'm trying to think where I got.
And they ain't cheap, but they're worth every penny. And they're still way cheaper than like going to a linear rail or something.
You know, I don't buy my, like my T6s. You know.
Yeah, you're police.
I buy those from a company that's all they make.
You're welcome. That's why we're here, right? To ask questions and answer, help you out.
Let me see if I can find it in. I might be able to find it on my other computer.
Yeah, these are 625 ZZ. The bearings that are in there.
625s.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you want. You want 625 ZZ bearings, Sparky. But if you go to Open Builds, you can buy the whole thing already.
Yeah.
You know, assemble yourself with the PC bearing, with the PC wheels, and just buy them as a kit.
Yeah, we were just talking about the bearings that Mr. Pet's saying there.
Yeah.
I'm just
saying though, he can buy it as a kit.
Yeah.
All said and done. All the bearings, the wheel, the spacers, the butt, the nut, the bolt, everything you need right there.
Yeah, they come as little kits.
Comes in a little baggie, all set, ready to go. You snap it together, you're done.
Yeah, but the Amazon ones are hot garbage because they're like the cheapest of cheap Chinesium.
Yeah, there's
Amazon ones are garbage.
they need to be ABEC 3, which is just a rating on bearings. And you want to get a sealed bearing. And let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones
Don't
that come
buy
on them
them
are
off
shielded, not
You're
sealed.
wasting your
So
money. I bought a bunch of them off Amazon, and I ended up throwing them out a month later.
yeah.
You know, I haven't had to replace any of the bearings on my printers to date.
Yeah, the only ones that I've had to replace were the really crappy ones that came on the ANET, the little LMU 88s.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that I've ever had to replace, and that was just me not knowing what the hell I was doing when I first got, my printer. What?
Have you ever taken the wheels off and physically felt them?
Yes.
Run them through? Because I didn't think I had any problems till I did that, and then I found like on my CR10 I found 3 gritty bearings. On my TiVo I found 1, and it was just I mean, you guys have seen my prints. I don't mess around. If my machines aren't dialed in, I'll leave them off. I mean, I make sure that everything is just dialed in, and the bearings were probably one of the best.
Well, my Ender 5 Plus, this came off my Ender 5 Plus, and you said it was a good print, so
yes,
it really
was.
clean.
Yeah.
It's very, very, and that's PETG from ICTV. I love their PETG, and the print quality is fantastic.
You can get just as good a quality prints on wheels as you can with LMUs. You'll get better than LMUs. I hate LMUs. They're sloppy and garbage. You can get as good as linear rails with wheels. What you won't get is speed. You can go a little bit faster with a linear rail than you can with a wheel.
That's a nice.
Yeah, but not all linear rails are made equally.
I mean, again, you're talking about a halfway. I'm talking about a halfway decent linear rail, not a cheap AliExpress $10 linear rail. It's not going to.
Yeah.
No, you need to buy good ones. Yeah.
Linear rails will give you rigidity, so you can go a little bit faster with a good linear.
And they help decrease ringing on prints because there is less flexure on your head as it moves.
See, sometimes that flex is a good thing.
Depends.
On some of these cheap frames, if it don't flex and something's a little bit out, that the linear rail can actually make it worse.
On Z especially, yes. On Z, it can actually be a bad thing without having any flexure. But on the X-axis, generally you can get away with it. You don't need it. And Y you can get away with it as well. But Z is very important to have some movement.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people are moving, like even some of the printer companies like Lulzbot, they are slowly moving off using Z screws and moving to belts. Now, the reason why they're doing belts is a lot of the military use Lulzbot, right? They ship Lulzbot printers over into the for the mechanics to print parts for some of the machines, while some of the trucks and stuff, right? And they find that the Z screws get bound up in dusty environments, such as when you're in the Middle East. Yeah. Whereas the belt on a Z eliminates that. It is easy to maintain and easier to clean.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to maintain.
And it's smoother. It's really smooth on the action as well. So in those cases, using as long as you have no Z screw and you're using a belt and linear and rails on Z, then that problem goes away.
Yep.
As long as your extrusion is straight, you're good, right? Because Lulzbot are moving that way. They have done it for the military. I know they have. I've a buddy of mine has spoken with them because he helps them out on the forums a lot. Because he's got 2 Lulzbot printers, and they've been taught them. Some of the guys have been telling him that they are actually for the military. They're going to belts, and I've heard of other people who are actually going belts now as well. Because with their own machine, they're modifying it because the Z screw there's always some kilter or some misalignment in the Z screw. So this eliminates that. So Z is always good. You find it, Dave?
Don't mind,
Yeah,
if
I
you don't
did.
mind waiting for them, buying the wheels from Bulkman 3D out of China, they're actually open build supplier, and it'll be a buttload cheaper than open builds. The thing is that you got to buy like 100 at a time.
Let me see if I can send it to myself and then get on that.
You can't buy like 1 or 2 wheels.
Yeah, and share it here. And if you or you can join the stream from that computer. Just mute.
Yeah, I could do. I suppose I could do that as well.
We can mute this channel, this one here, and then join and mute yourself when you join, and then
Yeah,
you can
I've
share
got
it there.
about 10,000 friggin' windows up though on this one.
Oh,
I'm going to hit the road because I'm
going to wrap up as well. So let wait for Dave to do this, and then I'll wrap up.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me just get on.
All right,
this.
take care, Lama.
See you, Llama. He's
Llama.
just grabbing links.
So yeah, we'll wait for you to get that, and we'll share it out on the chat, and then we'll wrap it up because it's getting late here as well. It's 10 o'clock, and I'm up at 5 in the morning. So tomorrow's my son's last day of school for the year.
Tomorrow's my last day of the work week, so nice 4-day weekend.
No, it's not for me. So, but
okay.
Yeah, so the TAS 6 has belts, and they started to add more. Oh, here's okay. Let me 1 second, Dave. I'm going to mute your other channel, and then bring you in. Now we have Dave in stereo. Oh, you're muted on both of them. Okay, let me unmute you here. Okay.
Did you unmute me on one of them?
I have you unmuted on your original one, so stay muted on the close-up on the one that's on your lap right now.
I'm going to let you work that.
Oh, we're getting feedback.
Because I'm getting some major feedback here.
Okay, how about I mute Bjorn until you have it posted? You post, and then you can bomb out. Put it in the private chat, and I'll post it to general chat for everybody. So, yeah, just stick it into private chat when you have, Dave. And then I'll copy it out and share it to everybody. I have you muted, so unmute yourself.
If you mute him, he can't unmute himself.
I can't unmute him.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, go on. We hear you now.
Share this screen from my from the second one.
There you go. Okay, I'm going to mute you again. So this is where you go. What's the name of the company? Visolution. What's the name of that company, Dave?
Bearing Wholesale Lots.
Wholesale Lots.
Okay, so that's where you go to get your bearings.
And they've got every friggin' bearing on the planet that you could possibly want.
Ooh, feedback.
Doing yourself.
I have to mute you. Okay. So
I'm getting off this one.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay,
that
now can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. That feedback was killing us.
Okay.
Okay, so he has it now. So Bearing Wholesale Lots is where you go.
It's actually they've got an incredible amount of really nice. You can get. I mean, anything. I do so much really specialty stuff that I can always use bearings. Like I weld my own screen printing equipment and stuff, and that requires some really large bearings and some tapered bearings as well. So, you know, they've got, if you want bearings, they've got bearings.
They got them all.
If you're making, you know, if you're building a Hevort or a Hevo or, you know, a rat rig or something like that, and you want to, you know, when you start dealing with bearings, belts, you start thinking outside of the box. So when you look at what somebody else has designed, some things can be designed much better if you just throw in an extra, $50 or, there's so many things. So, it's like all my, all my beds, with the polycarbonate on it, that I'm using inductive probes on it. Well, I'd love to buy a bunch of Tim's, capacitive probes, but my God, these things work great. They're Italian. Their resolution is crazy good on it. And I, exactly.
I got to try them out.
Right.
I got these from Devon.
Right.
I got these from. I got them from Devon, so I should probably try them out.
I build the boxes and the, build all the electronics. I put relays in them, the whole bit, and then I even put jumpers on them so you can use standard terminals on it. And if you want to run lights, I've got 2 spots there for running 12-volt LEDs onto your bed, and this is all on a switch. So all of my printers, or excuse me, they all have switches on them. So I have to make sure they're on, when I start a print, because it'll crash. It's just going to crash the bed. But I just run 12 volts into it, and then I can run all the LEDs that I want to on my bed. I just turn on my inductive probe. I'm ready to go. That's hooked up as my XN stop, or excuse me, my ZN stop.
Yeah.
And it takes 2 seconds to hook one of these up on a machine.
He's asking,
as long as you have steel, as long as you have some ferrous metal that you're probing off of, they're phenomenal. I mean,
you have a flex steel bed or whatever to do it.
God, I run the bed leveling mesh to show people, and I put a resolution of like 0.05, not 0.5, but 0.05. And my bed meshes are, they show almost no color variation on them. It's just, I don't have time to do all the YouTube videos that I need to do, but I should probably do one on this bed, because
you do it on the bed and the probes, Dave, because he's asking
the
probe video on the probes as well.
Yeah, because my printers, I don't even think about touching them anymore. I mean, I just don't have prints fail anymore. I walk away from them like you would walk away from a Prusa. I don't even think about my first layer anymore. I just walk away from them. If I come back and my print has gone south, it's only gone south because, I got hit by a power freak, some kind of freak of nature.
I watched my first layer once, and then I walked away, and then basically
hey, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah. I started watching the first layer go down and started the second layer, and everything looked fine. It looked perfect, and it's like walked away, and probably 10 minutes after I walk away, it just went poof.
What's your channel name, Dave?
Let's see if I can find it here real quick. I'll just do it.
Stick it in private chat, and I will share it out for everybody.
Yeah.
And those who are out there right now, if you haven't liked, subscribed, and done a thumbs up on the channel and ding the bell, please do so. It helps. So subscriptions helps. So those thumbs up really help with ratings on YouTube. And obviously, if you subscribe, you get to know when I'm on. I normally do a Wednesday night hangout, but I often do weekend stuff where I have, like, if I have new printers to do unboxings and so on. So please like, subscribe, and ding that bell so you get notified when I do go live. I don't think I have a printer this week to do an unboxing of it. I was waiting on one and it hasn't come in yet. It might turn up tomorrow. If it does, I'll schedule a stream. It's a new resin that I don't think, other than people who hang out on my stream, I don't think anybody's heard of it. It's a brand new company, and they will be going live in Kickstarter in a couple of weeks.
Did when you let them know that your printer got run over by a semi, what did they have to say?
I showed them photo. Well, it looks like it was dropped, right? And it didn't drop it enough to damage the metal casing, but it cracked the plastic casing, and it dislodged the whole inside. So the inertia was so great that it dislodged the whole inside.
It used the really long standoffs like this.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that was like part of his problem.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
There was just so much weight on those M3 screws.
That's your Shane. Is that your channel?
No, that's Pet Fang's.
No, that's mine. But
okay.
I have one with my name in it, but I can't find it.
That's the one you subscribe to, guys, because that's where he does all of his.
I don't remember. Yeah, here we go.
All your YouTube.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Dave, that's the one where you do all of your stuff about your cooling.
Yeah, Pet Fang.
Yeah. So anyone who doesn't know, Dave, the guy up here above me in yellow, his name is Dave Petzel. If you've ever come across a Pet Fang cooling system for a printer, he designed it. If you find a Pet Fang cooling system for any of your printers, like those, they're his design. So and he's got lots of them out there for lots of different printers. So you should check it out on Thingiverse. He's got a Thingiverse section where all of his called Pet Fang, where all of his cooling systems are, and they are way better than any cooling system you'll get for any that come with any printer you buy today. They're top notch.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome, sir.
Yeah,
because it's true.
Yeah, they're definitely a decent cooling fan. You know, Mr. Pet Fang there definitely helped out on some other printers, like one of Justin's there.
Yeah. Yeah, you with the Voron?
No, it's that printer he got for free that I always bragged about. I can't remember which one that one is.
Yeah.
Dave, you could do a video something or write up of how to wire. Okay.
You know, I love Tim's a really, really good friend, and he's been a friend for a lot of years, and I love his stuff. And Tim's stuff is just top notch. And when he first came out with the capacitive, you know, you can say what you want, but when you're working with capacitive and inductive, I say that inductive is so much better when if you can get a piece of steel underneath of it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple of flex steel. Most of mine are glass because I like doing PVG on glass. But Justin, how are you? And Mr. Troublemaker Dan, how are you?
Dan appears out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Dan's been laying low. He's been laying
literally,
low.
no, he's literally been laying.
Yeah.
Dan has got it. What's that other streaming service you use again?
Huh?
What's that other streaming service
Twitch?
you use?
Oh, Twitch. But I have to get over.
See, Dan's gone all twitchy, and he prefers being twitchy over YouTube now.
No, I haven't even been on Twitch. I haven't done a stream. I haven't popped into my Discord. I haven't done nothing in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Whatever it's been.
His leg cast has been interfering with his Wi-Fi.
Wait, now what happened with your leg? I didn't hear about this.
I can't bend it.
What happened with your leg?
I was coming down my stairs. You guys remember Satan's staircase from back when I was in the house? For those who remember, Satan's staircase behind me. Well, the ceiling sits low, and my tall ass doesn't come down the stairs very well. And I was coming down the stairs. I usually take the last couple sideways, and I'll tip my head and go under the ceiling because with vertigo and leaning forward going downstairs. If it hits while you're leaning forward, you tend to fall.
Yeah.
Well, I was coming down and I was sideways and I was leaning, and I thought that I was one step lower than I was. And when I stepped out to step down, there's like a little platform, and then you go down to the floor. When I went to step out to that platform, I was one step higher than I should have been. And I went down, and if my leg is here, here's my knee. It bent, instead of bending like it should, it went this way. So my foot stayed on the step, my knee bent this way, and then up to my body.
So did you tore your MCL or something?
Huh?
Did you tear your MCL or something?
I still don't know. Give me just a minute. I got to take a quick phone call.
Okay.
Of course, he's got a phone call. Everyone hide.
Yeah, it's that printer right there that Mr. Pets Fang helped on.
What, mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is for sale, by the way, for those who don't know. I'm trying to sell the printer.
Now we know why Justin joined the stream.
Yeah.
Yep, it's for sale. Message me if you're interested. That easy enough?
Sorry.
It's not going to be for that much money either, so.
We're just giving you a hard time because it's funny.
Oh, you would.
Yes, of course. You do it to me, I have to do it back.
No, I do it to Llama.
You know, have you guys noticed that the secondary market for used printers has kind of blown up lately?
Yeah.
Yep. I just sold a middle printer for $500. My middle blue one.
I sold a small printer last weekend, and I put it out on Craigslist on Friday. It was gone Saturday morning.
Nice.
Wow.
People are fighting at the bit to get printers.
The biggest thing for me is the Raise isn't 100% stock. You know, it's got a mosquito on it. It's got, better magnetic bed, yada yada yada. So I got to give it to someone who actually has some experience in this. That isn't just, it's not a first printer type printer.
That's not.
I love those. I got a couple of those. Yeah.
Somebody used motor oil on the Z screws and wondered why their printer wasn't working right. I bought the printer for $50.
Yeah, but there is a huge market out there for secondary for used printers. I mean, people would rather buy a used machine that they know works than buy a new one that they don't know what's going to happen with it.
Yeah, the printer that used to
mod our printers a little bit, right?
Yeah, the printer that was sitting right here, the whole reason why they bought it is because I fixed all the problems that Creality sold it with. All the firmware issues like, thermal runaway protection not being enabled on the printer.
There is a Pets thing for the Ender 5, isn't there, Dave?
Yeah, there's one for the Ender 5. Yep.
Yeah, so you just use that one.
Yep. And there's also a new one. I just uploaded it, and it's a direct drive version of the Bullseye and Blockhead, which is my new low profile, small footprint, and that's the one that you guys saw me using on my Ender 3, and it works incredible. It's phenomenal, and it will take up to a 6 CFM fan, and at 6 CFM, most of your 5015s are around the 3
to 4, yeah.
So when you get into, I had a guy, and we were trying to figure out why he was having such crazy noise, and he showed me the specs on the fan, and it was 5.8 CFM, and it's like, my God, this thing, it was crazy. Let me find it real quick. You guys might like this.
Yeah, and you don't even need that amount of air to cool plastic.
No, absolutely, that is absolutely correct.
Yeah, 3 to 4 is maximum, is what you need. It's about steady airflow. It's not about the amount of air you're pushing through You want to make sure it's steady so it cools evenly. Is all you want.
Yep. You know, when you go and cool a cup of coffee, or you just blow on it lightly, you know, and water and air have convection, you know, so the hot air rises, and all you want to do is break that. You know, you just want to break that hot air.
Mm-hmm.
You want to move it away from the part. Is what you want to do. You want to move away the hot air so the cool air can come in and do its job.
That's right, and that's
Yeah.
why, you know, mine were one of the very first that pushed the air to the back of the build plate, so it was always getting fresh air. You know, everybody wanted to do air that was convergent directly across from each other, and it just didn't make any sense to me. And so when I started designing these, it was yeah, kind of went crazy right off the bat. Let me find this one.
So, Justin, tell us that you're a month of the job now. How is it going?
It's going. Still getting used to things. I got to have a nice taste of the back counter today, which was nice. My boss is going out of town, and I have to work this Saturday. So for me, it was nice because back counter is basically where I enjoy it. It felt like home. I got back there, I'm like, this is familiar. I'm like, yeah, because I've done it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So
It'll be interesting another week.
It's good you're settling in.
Yeah, getting there.
And
I finally put it up on my LinkedIn and Facebook because it's a little hesitant to for a while.
Oh, you should, yeah. Dan, how's the business setup going?
Work sucks right now at the 9 to 5. I haven't really been able to focus on like the job, and it sucks because the last big order I had was like 4 weeks ago, probably 4 weeks ago. And since then, there hasn't really been anything coming in because I haven't had time to focus on it. And the worst part is the 9 to 5 is currently, bread and butter. So I got to kind of cater to the 9 to 5 a little bit. And the 9 to 5 is not going to like me when I'm putting in about 20 hours of overtime starting now.
So I'm in the same situation as you. I'm buried. And I'm going to get buried again now because different products release at different cadence. But next month, I cover 5 products. All 5 have releases next month. So I have stuff to do for all 5 products, and I have to have them done before the month's out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be about this busy.
Yeah, I've got.
Hey, William.
Yes, sir.
I put a YouTube video in private chat.
There's
Can
2
you play
there.
that?
Which one?
This last YouTube video.
Sure.
The last one in the private chat underneath the.
1 second. Give me a second to open it. I'm going to pause it.
So let me preface this by saying that I call this my Superman print, and this is actually printing in midair. There's no edges for it to attach to, and the square base, is printed in a single base mode basically. So there is nothing for support. So it's basically printing a square base, a square cube, then it puts 2 layers over the top of that, and then everything else is suspended. It's just there. It's not overhang. It's 90 degrees suspended, and then it stair step up, and it stair steps up 3 steps. So this first section of it is totally 1 layer, and then it printed that, and then you can see this is just printing in midair. And that's with a 4.5 CFM or 5.5, I think. I don't remember. But that's what makes it. If nothing else, it'll save your print. If you've got something, you get spaghetti. So if you've got an area that has no support on it whatsoever, and the PetsFang will save your print because it'll try to make that filament solid, even if it has a bunch of sag to it. it's not going. It's going to be solid up to a certain point, and it's going to let you build on top of that. So you may not get a print that totally, is 100% failure. You might be able to salvage it. So
cool. Yeah.
Gentlemen, I hate to pop in, say hi, and run, but as a guy who hasn't had a chance to get around social media and surf the networks lately, I still live. I'm still alive. A couple teeth that are still giving me a little bit of a fit, but nothing major.
I'll take care of you. Come visit me. I'll take care of those for you.
Yeah. Quick answer to the knee is I'm still waiting for the insurance company to tell the doctor what I'm doing, whether it's physical therapy or an MRI. They haven't said anything.
Well,
and it's been 2 weeks now.
The last time.
It'll be 2 weeks on Friday, and I still haven't gotten an answer. So the hell with the healthcare system right now.
Well, Dan, I felt something similar, not in the same situation, but I fell and injured my knee, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It took them 4 weeks to finally decide to send me for a scan on my knee, and I had ripped up my MCL and partly ripped my ACL.
Oh, nice. I know if this would have been a workman's comp claim, they would have been all over it. I'd already be in surgery. They'd already be repairing my knee if it was a workman's comp claim.
And I had to go they had to go and actually redo my MCL, and that meant taking ligament out of the same leg elsewhere, creating and rebuilding it in surgery. So hopefully it's not like that with you. Because that's a slow recovery. That's 6 to 8 weeks recovery.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I hope not. Man, I hope not. But yeah, Marcus, if there's an issue, hit me up. I still have that second table. Nobody is outright committed to the table, so I have the second one. If something happens, man, you can sit right next to me and we'll just chat.
And if nothing else, Feature Creep's coming with.
Yeah, and if nothing else, Feature Creep can come with, and I have a table you can set it on if there's no space available anywhere else. You can just set it on the second table next to me, and then Marcus, you can hide next to Shane in the Feature Creep, and you can just say that you live in the same house.
When is Murph?
25th, 26th, 27th of June. The reason I remember that is because my wife and I will be spending our anniversary driving to Goshen, Indiana, because our anniversary is the 25th. So 5 years married, and we're going to spend it trapped in a car together for 3.5 to 4 hours worth of driving.
Well, wow, she's put up with you for this long.
Yeah, she hasn't changed that. So. But gentlemen, it was good seeing you guys. Have fun.
Take care.
I promise I'm trying to get a stream in here in the next couple of days, and everybody can play catch up, and we'll go from there. But, have a good night, guys.
Take care.
Hey, Dan.
Bye.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to wrap up because I've been on for 3.5 hours already.
Jeez.
Okay.
And unless something has something they want to cover.
So I have this 3D printer for sale.
Where's the mute button? Where's the mute button?
That's the newest one right there.
Where's the little sign that goes across the screen, Justin?
I don't have that capacity. This
Wait
is
a second. No, we don't. But
nah, it's fine. I'll post it up in the Voron flea market.
I'm gonna hit it then, Liam.
Yeah.
So
we can always change his name.
Yeah.
we'll see you guys
That's not
later.
a bad idea.
Take care, Dave.
That's
your new title, Justin Printer for Sale.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's not. All right, guys. I think we'll wrap it up because it's 10:30 and I have to go up at 5. So
hey, it's 10:30. You have to get up at 5. So I'm okay.
I really need to use the mute button or the kick option more often.
Got to test it every once in a while.
Yeah,
find a finger. No.
I got 2 of those.
I know.
So, guys, it was fun. Always. Please like, subscribe, ding that bell. Come back. I'll be on again next Wednesday night to hang out. So everybody's welcome to come in and chat. If we let Justin in, we let anybody in. So please.
You're not wrong. You let Llama in.
It's a very true statement. I don't lie. And so please like, subscribe, ding that bell, and I'll see you next week. Remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay printing, guys. Thank you and have a good one.